We are live. Welcome back to We Watch Movie. I am Mike.
Old man carving wood out. Old man carving canoe out of wood. What? No, I'm Jay.
I thought you were going to go with, my name's Jeff.
No, I was doing that thing from Wayne's World too. He was like, oh yeah, who else is going to be there? Van Halen. Wow, Van Halen. Who else? Do you remember Garth's face? Because he's like, yeah, Van Halen's gonna play, and he's like, wow, Van Halen, like who else? And then Christopher Law's like, yeah, who else? He's like, who else? Old man carving canoe out of wood.
Dude, I think Wayne's World 2, Ghostbusters 2, and one more that I can't think of. Lethal Weapon 2 is underrated, but Ghostbusters 2 and Lethal Weapon 2 are two movies that definitely were better sequels than they were given credit for.
Oh yeah, well I never understood the part where I never got Ghostbusters 2 hate.
No,
I mean it wasn't as magical fruits of the panties as the first Ghostbusters was, but it was still, I thought it matched up pretty well with the first one. I had fun with it.
Hotline Gil says Bears better than the Packers sign.
Oh.
Apparently you didn't watch this weekend, dude. Did you see what Aaron Rodgers did on Sunday?
No.
Oh,
did he get a new team yet?
No, it was so funny. He ran in for a touchdown against the Bears. He's 22-5 against the Bears all time. Don't worry, guys. We'll stop talking about sports lickety split. But he ran it. You guys will appreciate this. He ran a touchdown in, and then he looked up, and a bunch of fans were flicking him off. And he did the belt, and then he looked up, and the mic picked him up, dude. He goes, "I fucking own you." He's like, "I've owned you my whole fucking life." He's like, "I still own you," and then like ran off. It was the fucking most badass thing I've ever seen.
If I was in the crowd, I'd be like, okay, Dad, then I want $20 for gas. Can you loan me some money, asshole?
I watched that clip like 17 times. I've owned you my whole fucking life. I'm going to say that to someone. I'm just waiting for the day I can say it to someone. Maybe in the bedroom.
No. Yes, sir. Thoughts? What the spicy 7-Up?
First drink of 7-Up of the night,
7-Up, that is.
Hey, we're already almost up to 300. That's very nice. Appreciate all you guys being here. Courtney Reed, thank you, buddy. First super chat of the night. Wonderful, man. Smells terrific. I'm glad you guys went live. Halloween Resurrection is on.
That's an American classic, Courtney. I don't know. Sit down and enjoy a slice of American life. I mean, what?
Saving the day. Saving the day.
Kung Fu karate master taking down Michael like nobody can. That's why he's Busta Rhymes, because he busted that ass. What a piece of shit movie.
He's got you all a check.
You know what? I actually was talking to Cody yesterday about that. We were talking about what's worse, Rob Zombie's 2 or Resurrection, and he's like, dude, that's a tough one.
It's a question as old as time.
It's been asked since Noah had an ark. And I gotta be honest, and I agree with him. At least Resurrection, as much of a garbage on fire film that is, at least it has something to do with Michael. Like the other ones, literally, you could have called it anything but Halloween. I'd be like, yeah, that's a cool movie, but it's not Halloween because he's a big hobo walking railroad tracks.
That's true, but H2 is definitely more interesting to watch because it's like a train wreck. Like, I'm literally shitting on everything in the Halloween universe right now, but I'm doing it with style. You know, so like it's weird. Like I'd actually probably take H2 over Resurrection, but I probably flip-flop on that every day of my life.
I don't know. It really is like either walking into a toilet filled with diarrhea poop or walking into another toilet just overflowing with vomit. Like you got to take a dump in one of them.
Choice. Yeah, it's a hard choice to deal with. Derek B, thanks, buddy. Says 3 days. 3 days. Yes, Scarefest is upon us. Dark Souls. We will see you soon in person. It will ruffle your hair.
Derek, come be gay with Father and I when we see one another. Let's run off into the dandelions.
We'll frolic. Oh, shit. Guys, who's fucking ready? Tonight, we get to just put it all out there. We get to talk about everything. Finally, I'm a peacock. You got to let me fly. We can talk about all the Halloween Kills spoilers. Everyone be warned. I mean, obviously, if you didn't read the title of the video, double be warned. We're talking about it all. We can finally let our freak flags fly on this. It's going to be beautiful. Lloyd Brockway says Halloween drinking game. Anytime someone says 40 years ago or evil dies tonight, take a shot. I'll up you, Lloyd. I'll up you. And if you did the drinking game for Halloween Kills, every time someone says evil dies tonight, you will die tonight.
And let me tell you something, man. By the time you were done, you'll look like Gary Busey. And you'll sound like him too.
Like the fucking the DUI picture,
dude. I watched him get arrested. I was watching one of those celebrities getting arrested or busted, and he was at a biker rally or something, and they took him, they put him in handcuffs, and he's just started going, and they're like, Gary, what, are you going to jail? And he's like, yeah, I got warrants. They didn't know he had warrants, and he didn't even remember he had them. But they took him to jail. Yeah, I don't know if he was drunk or not. I know he had a bad accident. He fucking screwed his brain up.
Oh, is that what happened?
I think so. Something like that.
Oh shit, that actually makes.
But
me
I think
feel
it was a
bad.
motorcycle fucking accident. But obviously he got over it because he was back in a biker rally.
Damn. Tyler Rumfeld says, glad to be here and see you sexy goddamn faces. Can't wait for the review. Now do us proud because I don't want no scrubs. Nope. Because scrubs don't get no love from me.
That's why I just keep chasing waterfalls. Stick to the lakes and the rivers like I used to.
Alistar Ray says, I hated kills. The pacing and editing was terrible. That's have you watched it more than once though? Can I ask you that? Have you watched it more than once? The pacing and editing did have issues. I'll say that. But hey, to each his own, man. It's okay if you hated it. We understand that it definitely has problems, and we'll get into all this. But I think for me, I don't fault anybody for not liking it. I think that it had. I've watched it 4 times now, and I see the problems with it every single time, and they're frustrating. But for me, as we said 100 times, you got to get Michael right. And Michael, there was nothing wrong. Every scene Michael was in, it was perfect to me. Like I thought they nailed him, and they nailed him. And then
they did.
You know,
behind the shed at least 3 times.
Andy Muchak, I thought Allison was great. I thought a lot of people were great. To me, the good outweighed the bad by a whole. Like the stuff that was really important, they got right. If I wasn't a fan of Halloween and I was watching this movie, if I wasn't a fan of Halloween at all, I would go, that movie's got a lot of problems with it. And if I didn't really care or get into Michael Myers, I could see feeling that way. But where our stake is in Michael and they got Michael right, I was very happy when I left the theater.
He's my favorite. I think he's my favorite Michael they've ever done. Like straight up, I think he embraces both the badassery that I want out of my Michael and my milkshake, but he also has got a menacing type of just not over the it's not just like a romping, stomping zombie, more like Jason kind of thing. He's got some style to him, and so they've got the slickness to him still, and the shadowy movement. But then they've got the brutal type of Michael that I wanted to see since Halloween: Curse of Michael Myers. So, for me, yeah, and I think I saw someone mentioned in the chat there, and I will agree with you. That they liked it, except that the dialogue was a little cringy. That is 100% accurate. And I get that. Yeah, there are some really bad. I mean, you hit and miss through this movie, but then when they miss, sometimes you're like, "Fuck, you didn't just miss the target. You shot the barn. Like the target wasn't even on the barn. Like you hit a car,
yeah,
or something. Like I mean, it was just really bad. But again, those aren't actors' fault. I mean, and I think it was you had a great cast. I think just sometimes the dialogue is written really, it just doesn't land.
And the editing,
I mean, that just happens. I mean, you can write something on paper and it looks good, and then when they say it, you're like, oh shit, I shouldn't have wrote that.
And the editing definitely fooled with some of the lines. So, going right into spoilers, one of the things I felt like the editing fooled with that made the dialogue seem sort of off was when Laurie was in the bed talking. You hated this part, I know. When Laurie was in the bed and she was talking to Sheriff Hawkins, who survived. That's the first. By the way, it was weird to see when the scene opened up. It opens up with the balloons you saw in the first trailer, and then you see Hawkins laying there, and it opens up with Cameron of all people, who, by the way, Cameron, I feel like redeemed himself. I like him now, even though now he's fucking dead.
He still wore a dress because he's a pussy, but yeah, I mean, he did a little bit. Good for him. He died a hero, but he died a hero with his dress on.
I liked his acting in those scenes too. He was weird. He had a weird vibe about him. Like when he saw Sheriff Hawkins laying there, he was like, "Hey, are you okay? Hey,
yeah,
are you okay?"
Michael fucked him up worse than a fish in jail, like the first day. It was
man.
He raped that ass. I mean, he ripped it up. That was a brutal ass kill, but I'm glad. I think a lot of fans wanted that kill to happen, or that kill to happen. So yeah, I was happy about it.
It was such a good kill too.
That's what happens when you throw somebody's fucking phone in fondue, bitch.
Yeah. Well, we found out. Remember, it's nacho cheese. Oh, it's just nacho cheese, not your cheese, but
it's just cheese.
Yeah, cheese. But how good was that kill? And like we could talk about the kills all night long, but like that kill specifically was one of the most brutal. When Cameron dies again, and this is going to be a common thread here is talk about in the spoiler review, is that and it's who do you blame? Like who do you blame when it comes to the marketing? Is it producers? Is it Universal? Is it Blumhouse? Who's in charge of what gets shown in trailers? But had we not seen Cameron walking down that hall and the blood drips on his hand, and I went, oh, well, his dad's above him, and like looks up, and there's Lonnie Elam. And by the way, Richard Longstreet, is it Richard? Am I saying that right? Robert Longstreet, Lonnie Elam. That guy was fucking awesome. Like he was one of the few like returning characters that we haven't seen in a long time that I thought I want to see more of him. Like I was sad when he died because he was a cool fucking Eddie Vedder type dude.
He kind of gave me a Brad Dourif feel in Rob Zombie's Halloween. If there was one redeeming factor throughout both those movies, it was Brad Dourif's portrayal as Brackett. He had that kind of same sense of charisma about him. Like he knew some shit, and he could get down, but at the same time, he wasn't a complete dick. I don't know. I mean, he just had a cool, smooth guy, right? Like he's the kind of guy that ran the T-Birds, or at least was second in command.
Yeah.
Kaneki?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was a stupid move by him. Like, by the way, when he goes in the house, when he's like, I just want you all to stay here. I understand what he was doing. He didn't want his son to go get killed by Michael Myers. But wait for backup. Call Tommy. You got cell phones. Do something. So that was one of the moments I get where people saying that's a stupid character decision when he decides to just walk full frontal male nudity right into the Myers house. And he's smart. He was a really integral part of the movie to me. I loved what he was doing when he's sitting there thinking he's laughing, drinking his whiskey. That guy's doing the shit joke, and he's just laughing and having a good time. He seemed like the most normal of the characters and the most natural acting of all of those people. But when he goes into the house, that was a dumb move. Also, how the fuck does Michael kill him and then have time to go and get him stuffed in that? What do you call those things that you pull down?
Attic.
The attic step.
Yeah, the attic's the
Chevy Chase
attic string.
Yeah, he gets him up there fast. He's a big fucking dude. And
that's what
Myers is old.
That's straight Wheaties every fucking morning, night and day and night.
He's been working it.
That's all he does. He eats Wheaties and stares up the wall and does little bench presses.
It's one of the few off-screen kills that happened in the movie too.
Is someone you gotta definitely tell about that, like for sure. One of the, and I don't know if it was on purpose or if it was just they thought. I don't know what they thought, but it's some of the worst. Like you guys are absolutely right. It is some of the worst shooting I've ever fucking seen in my life. Every goddamn cop that shot missed everything but the barn door. I saw it. I literally, when I saw him trying to shoot Michael and they kept missing and it was going wild and they were shooting everything but Michael, and Michael was like, I know you suck, and he was walking away. It was like, it reminded me of Dumb and Dumber when he was like, you're alive and you're a terrible shot. Like you unloaded the whole fucking gun and missed every time. It wasn't just the cops, everybody missed. But I will say one of the cooler scenes with the gun is that chick blowing her own brains out, because it was some straight John Wick shit. I don't know what it was. Michael just kicked because he kicked the door and then he looked at her and he was like, I didn't even have to touch you. You suck. You a terrible human being. It's like, how difficult is that for you when you die? You didn't even get a chance to shoot at me. You killed yourself, fool. Like, I think he was just looking over at her like
you played yourself.
Yeah, dude. He it was like somebody had just slam dunked and rubbed their nuts on someone's face and posterized them and is standing over top of them. It's like, how's it feel to be on that ground?
Yeah, yeah. That was funny too, because she was such a hardcore, that entire scene. But we'll keep going and we'll get into more, and we're gonna get into all of it. Trust me. Jonathan Mann says, "Want to get high and dance?" Little John, Big John. Funny story. Like we tweeted out the other day, because we always talk about Michael Myers. He stabbed Judith in the tits. We even have it in a song, in the emo Michael Myers song. So I clipped that and I sent that. I put it on Twitter and I was like, "Hey, Blumhouse, where's our royalty check out for this?" And I was like, just kidding, obviously. But Blumhouse actually liked the tweet. And then somebody else joked in the comments. They were like, "Hey, I think Big John and Little John were inspired by you and Jay." And I was like, I fucking hope so. I hope so.
Yeah,
that's awesome. You'd be Stewie, by the way. I'd be the other guy, I feel like.
But it's funny. It's fucking Stewart from Mad TV.
I know.
I've been farting since we've been standing here. Look what I can do. Every time he's a good actor, but every time I saw him, I just thought of like
he did a good job.
Yeah, he was good. Those guys were fine. I didn't mind that scene. I didn't mind them. I wish they had a little bit bigger part, because they ate up screen time in a good way. I really did like watch, because their interactions were funny and how they were handling the situation was good. I also did see somebody had gotten mad because that's one thing they didn't want in Halloween Kills. They had said they didn't want too many humorous jokes. They wanted the humor to be more drained out of it, because they thought 2018 overdid it in some areas. I think they did a pretty good job with having an equal balance of both in this one. I didn't get overwhelmed by really cringy ass jokes. And, they weren't as bad as what Mike and I tell on a constant basis, but it wasn't like that. So yeah, I felt like it was a good balance. So I didn't see, maybe there was some complaints about Halloween Kills having too many jokes in it, but I really didn't see any.
I've seen those complaints, but to me, really the only jokey part was Little John and Big John. And I thought those jokes were funny and those characters were likable. So I thought that worked out great. And by the way, their death scenes, let's talk about those real fast. Big John gets stabbed in the fucking armpit, which I don't think I've ever seen in a goddamn horror movie before. But that was so funny, dude. When he was upstairs, he was smoking that weed. He's like, on Halloween. He's like, hey man, I thought we were gonna watch this movie. He's like, no, fuck that. Let's get high and dance. He's like, that's tempting. I love those guys. They're really good. They're funny, and that death was brutal, dude. To get stabbed in the right there, dude. And then and then he got his eyes.
That's what I saw when he did that. When he squished the eyeball straight down into his brain stem. I was reminded, and that's why I said in the non-spoiler review, I think I said that, and I know that. But if we ever get a chance to talk to Chris again, because I know he hates us probably by now, but I'm just saying if we ever do get a chance to talk to Chris again, I would like to ask him if he was inspired by Tom Savini, because the first thing when I saw that face squish and the way that it looked and the way that it was kind of like filmed, it reminded me of Day of the Dead. Like and that was some of Tom Savini's most gory shit I've ever seen, and it won awards. I mean, that Tom Savini stuff, and that looked good. I think Halloween Kills is definitely going to get nominated for like makeup effects and stuff just for that. I mean, those kill effects were great.
There was something that was I told you about this. I don't know if I'm allowed to really say it, so I won't. I'll ask if it's okay for me to say it, and I'll tell you guys at some point. But there was a piece of direction that David Gordon Green gave James Jude Courtney doing the eyeball scene that you guys will laugh your fucking asses off. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say it, that somebody on the set told me about, but if I do, I'll tell you guys later. But it's fucking hilarious, man. That was a great scene. And then like the other dude dies off screen. Those are two off-screen deaths. There's not many in this film, but there are. Robert Longstreet, who, by the way, once again, I thought he was awesome. Nobody's talking about Lonnie Elam. He was good. I'd like to see that guy in more stuff. And then Little John.
Did you see that? Did you see how gentle Michael was though? Was Stuart the one that was Little John?
Stuart was Big John.
Big John.
No, Little John. He was Little John.
Yeah,
Stuart was Little John.
It was funny because when you see them posed, because Michael made sure to pose them together like in their pictures, so they'll be embracing in eternity. But Michael had only stabbed him with that little tiny bitch and squished the shit out of his boyfriend's eyes, probably because he was more of a threat to him and he was smoking weed. He didn't like that, and he's like, "No, this guy, I'm not gonna hurt you too bad. I'm just gonna stick it in, rub it around." Get out before the lube wears off, and I'll be
smack
gone.
it up, flip it.
No, yeah, it was. I like those guys were great. Everybody keeps on saying the firefighter scene. Obviously, the firefighter scene is going to go down as one of the greatest scenes in Michael Myers history. Like it's just absolutely incredible. It's like fucking Kane coming back in the WWF. It's every cool moment you could think of a wrestler, an Ultimate Warrior running down and slapping the fucking ropes. And do that scene when they zoom in on and he does the thing with the axe and he kind of gets ready to go. And then the firefighters are squeezing their weapons. So like, Gladiator, welcome to Thunderdome, bitch. And I was getting all hyped. Dude, I thought he's so funny. Imagine if that scene had happened where the fire is embroidered around Michael and he's walking down the steps. And then you heard, gonna be a mighty king, enemies beware. I just can't wait to kill Laurie. Dude, I could not do from ear to ear watching that scene, and I know that we'd seen a lot of it in the trailer. I was grinning like a fucking crazy ass maniac. I'm glad I didn't go to a theater and see it. Like that guy right there, that guy, children, that guy's that's a psycho. Let's take our shit and go back home because no, that guy sitting in the theater going and cheering with drool coming down his fucking lips.
Michael walked out at Laurie's house like Ace Ventura and When Nature Calls after he took a shit, or I think it was the first one. He's like, Michael walked out with that halogen after he killed those guys. He was like, woo-wee, do not go in there. But those firefighters, I like the one dude tried to spray with the hose. He was just like, stop.
I'll tell you what, man, that was
and the hose was just hitting him, and just Michael just kept fucking just walking forward like that's fucking water, bitch. I'm a shark.
That was a cool ass thing though, because the water pressure on that fire hose would have stopped any normal human being.
Yeah.
Like I mean, you like that shit was a lot, and Michael was like, "Why you try to squirt me, bro? I'm gonna fuck you up. You got a Nerf squirt gun? I got a halogen, and I'm coming for you, Barbara." Yeah, dude, I couldn't. That was a great scene, and I would have actually rewound it more and more, well, because I was watching it on Peacock. I was on the cock, but I was afraid because so many people might be watching. I didn't want to fuck up the stream. But I was like, oh god, that's so good. Like when I was first watching, I just wanted to go back and watch it over and over again.
I think it would have been a little cool if maybe like there was like one or two more kills there that we didn't see in the trailer. Again, you hate to complain about that because the movie is not the product of the trailer. The trailer's the product of the movie. So the movie still stands alone. You know what I mean? You can't blame the movie because there was too much in the trailer. Well, you can't say the movie sucked because they showed too much in the trailer. The movie is still a movie on its own. You know what I mean? So I feel like
the one thing they didn't show in the trailer though, it didn't show the actual brutality of some of those kills. Some of those kills were fucking gross. Like, and they didn't obviously they couldn't show it in trailers, but
Michael, when that fucking gate lifts up and he was like, yeah, I've been hot, bitch. Like when that fucking gate looks up and that firefighter's like, oh fuck, like that was cool. And then when he pulls it out, that was the scene that wasn't in the trailer. His whole head was just a hole, head like a hole, like it was just goo. It was just
Michael was pissed. It's like, I've been burning in that motherfucker for a while.
It's fucking hot here.
I'm glad I got this fucking jumpsuit from Dickies. Flame retardant, bitch. Didn't you know? It's not flame retardant. Don't try that. But that was, and dude, just the whole set. When he walked down the steps, I know it was in the trailer, but when he walks down the step, and you get that quick little slow-mo kind of look, and he was walking down, it looked like the start of like a Fire Nelly video. Like if Nelly was still rapping in the day, and it was going to be one of the best rap songs you've ever heard. It just looked like a start to one of them, and it was going to be fucking awesome. I loved it, dude. Everything about that. That was probably one of the best shot Michael Myers, like full on monster, I'm pissed off scene I've ever seen.
And some people didn't like the editing of that scene, but I thought the editing I do have some qualms with the editing of certain action scenes, but I thought the editing of that scene was really cool because it's a fucked up moment, dude. When Michael Myers, like, and again, this is why I wish it wasn't in the trailer. I don't want to keep going back to this, but if the trailer had just shown the firefighter reaching out, the guy falling, and then the firefighter reaching out, take my hand, and then Michael's hand grabs it. That's all you had to show with the firefighter scene. Yeah. And how badass would it have been to experience that firefighter scene for the first time in theaters? But I digress.
Did you laugh when he did pull up when he rolled up the thing and it was like, surprise, motherfucker?
Like
I was like, French fries, motherfucker.
Yeah, that's what I was talking
about,
motherfucker.
Yeah, it was.
I swear, burn like a hot pocket. God damn.
I was happy to see him too because it was the first time you got to see Michael, and I was like, oh my god, thank you. It was like seeing the bat symbol. Like in the ears in the new Batman trailer or the Flash. I was like, oh my god, Michael, oh my god, it's been you. But I just like how he walked, he lifted the thing up and he came out. It's like, god damn, finally somebody came to rescue me. I'm going to die now.
Yeah, and that scene was just amazing. Try to erase your brains, you guys, of ever knowing anything about this movie, and imagine if I'm explaining to you Halloween Kills, and I'm like, the first time you see Michael, he walks out of a fucking house that is not just burning. I mean, it isn't on flame. They did a badass job with that set. The way they made it look, the way Michael was like, shit was just dripping around them, and he comes out, and Michael literally like fucking like stretches. Like not like he's gonna race, but like just does a quick like fucking get my fucking halogen ready to go.
Like he's getting ready to do the best 10 reps of his life at the gym.
Yeah, like the only thing that could have made that better if 9 Inch Nails came on. I would have fucking like an Animal song. But like the way that he just fucking like that little shoulder like pull and like kind of moved his neck just a little bit and just walked towards those motherfuckers.
Yeah, it
was probably the coolest Michael Myers sans the original Halloween has ever fucking been. I mean, that was one of the greatest scenes of all time.
That's what exactly. It's going to go down in history as one of the most iconic scenes of any of the Halloweens ever, period. Exactly. That scene, that's what I was talking about. That's the Thunderdome bitch scene. Like, that's it. Like, that's true. That's what, and he was taking on all of them. And it'll be, and I know they're in their fire suits. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm sure it's hard to move around, but even if they were in their Kung Fu gis, even if they were Cobra Kai behind them, strike first, strike hard without mercy, they're still going to die. Like, it was so, and I don't know what the editing, it's so fucking well shot. What do you people want? Like, it looked good as fuck. Like, it was so badass. Like, I was excited as shit to see that. Now, the cringy dialogue aside, it still looked good as shit, though. Like, that's, like, to me, even though they showed all that in the trailer, watching it and I knew it was coming, I still fucking got, like, half a wiener hard.
And give it time, the time will make this movie better in people's eyes because of the bad marketing that they did. Because like, if you give this movie time and you just let it sit, I don't know if it's 5-10 years or whatever, but this movie will be looked back upon more fondly than it's being looked at now, because people will have gotten over the disappointment of all that being shown in the trailers, and they will see that movie as a whole and not see it as what I got versus the marketing and my expectations and blah, blah. Foxhound says, thank you very much for the sweet super chat. Foxhound says, LOL, Jay's William Forsythe impression from the spoiler-free review gives me life.
Take that damn thing off. He's probably queer. Gonna cut off his dick and kill Michelle Bell. I love that guy. I love William Forsythe too, but I love that character is so fucking unintentional. He's disgusting, the character itself, but he's so unintentionally funny. But William Forsythe as an actor is awesome. I've always loved that guy.
Someone clipped that. There was a meme of him saying that. He's like, bitch, I will come over there and skull fuck the shit out of you. And then it was literally our Michael with his eyes real big going.
Yeah, he was in a lot of ways. He was scarier than Michael was. Like legit scary.
He was.
Shit, I forgot what I was gonna say. Yeah, but yeah, I love William Forsythe, man. I'm glad you like it.
Eduardo Santiago, thanks, buddy, says, has anyone mentioned that the Karen kill was the Judith kill remade? Because it was. So might as well go into that.
Yeah.
And again, we'll let you guys dictate the conversation tonight as far as which.
Oh, wait, before you get into that, I do want to say what I was talking about really quick, because we were talking about how the marketing was handled for this, and people might give it a chance later on. I've also seen complaints. A lot of it was that if you guys were going to release it on Peacock, you could have done that last year. Like the delays and making people wait and all this stuff. But the thing about people that, and I think this one, I don't know, someone explained it better than me, but I'd read or heard someone say the thing about it is no one knew that all of this was going to continuing or like this Delta thing was going to be a thing. And like they all were expecting it to be over by October. So I get what people are frustrated about, because it's like, well, if you're going to put it on streaming anyway, then why didn't you just release it last year? But they probably thought, and I think a lot of people did, that everything would be wrapped up by now. So it's kind of, but I get both sides, but I don't know. I feel like there was a lot of already built in kind of shit, man. Fuck, you could have released it last year when you had the streaming service. You could have released it anytime.
And, in a perfect world, yeah, I mean, that's the truth. I mean, they could have, but at the same time, I think everybody's been waiting. Everything in the movie industry has been fluent since COVID happened. So, like, everything's been fluent. Like, everybody's been waiting to see what other people are going to do. And their plan, I mean, they're very clearly, they said it. Their plan was, hey, we're going to delay it a year, but we're going to release it in IMAX, and it's going to come out. They had no plans to do this. Something happened. Well, David Blum said what happened. He said that the failure of Freaky at the box office,
right.
It was like, I just wanted to go to the box office because I wanted to do it the normal way, and then the movie failed, and I know that I put it on a streaming service it wouldn't have, and Halloween Kills means so much to me that I didn't want to do that to Halloween Kills, so I took the risk. And you know what? Hey, the risk panned out. Look at what's going on in the box office. They're doing well in the box office, over 50 million.
They're doing
some more records.
And Peacock's making a killing.
Yeah, all that with it being on Peacock is such a huge success, man. And Jason Blum, and sometimes I disagree with what they're doing. Again, I'm talking about the marketing right now. I disagree with it. I do think, would the movie have done as well box office wise had they not put everything in the trailers? I don't know, but I do think it would have been reviewed better. I think the reviews would have been higher. But
I do like that David Gordon Green had said, though, he did say, and I think one of the saving graces that people could take away from it is he said, no matter what, hell or high water, it's going to come out in October. And he was true to his word.
Yeah.
He said, no matter what, hell or high water, it's going to come out in October. So, I mean, to be honest, if they were really selfish and they just wanted to have an only exclusive theater release to make the bukus of cash that it could have possibly made, they could have delayed it again until they were comfortable and everything else was a little bit more attractive for them, and released it in 2022 October, which would have been fucking horrible.
Yeah. Hey,
but
whatever we can say about it, we had to wait a while for it. But at the end of the day, it's doing well in the box office. And not only is it doing well in the box office, but we're able to watch it over and over again on Peacock. So everybody wins. Everybody wins. By the way,
it's like having my Viagra on speed dial. I could just snort it whenever I want a good boner.
By the way, we are at 919 people right now in this.
Well, why didn't you tell me that? Now I gotta get nervous about it. I didn't know that. I can't see how many fucking people are in here.
Hey, we could break the 1,000 thing. Thank you all so much for being with us tonight.
Can you guys just go back to let me pretend that we only had 50 in here, because I was being good and normal.
Right off the heels of your snorting Viagra joke. I'm like, hey,
I can't wait for that to be passed around. I didn't snort the Viagra. It was a normal American drug like cocaine. Get out of here.
But anyway, to answer your question, was Judith's was Karen's death a recreation of Judith's? Yes, absolutely. And it's funny, dude, because you say that, and some people were like, you didn't even mention that in your review, and I'm like,
I think I did.
Well, maybe you did, but I was like, it was so obvious that it was, like, so we didn't, but like, talking about that whole scene, one piece of dialogue that neither of us liked, I don't think, is that they tried to force feed this. Michael stared out his window, but was he looking out the window at Haddonfield, the town where nothing ever happens, or was he looking back at himself? And they consistently went back to that thread. They mentioned it in the flashback scene. Michael walks up to the mirror, and here's something interesting, dude. In the behind the scenes we saw, Michael, remember the shot we saw? Michael goes into Judith's room and sits at her makeup dresser and stares at himself in the mirror. in those behind the scenes. That's
he was
not
wondering
in
if
the
he
movie.
should get a Jerry curl or if he should get a perm or if his look.
How should I do my hair today?
I don't know. Yeah,
but that's not in the movie, which is interesting. I wonder when he did that in the original movie.
Well, I can't wait. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be some really good bonus features when the Blu-ray comes out that we can all dissect and talk about the deleted scenes that didn't make it in. I don't know. It could have been a time issue. I don't know. Or maybe they were like, maybe this is not going to make sense. I have no idea. But I do know that, yes, Mike and I didn't talk about it is definitely an homage to the Judith killing. I mean, it makes sense. But I figured it was so obvious and on the nose, it wouldn't need to be discussed. I mean, it happened generally in the same spot that Judith was in. It happened in generally the same way. So that's what, as far as was he looking at himself in the mirror? I mean, I think, he probably was. He probably noticed he had a zit. But no, he's probably,
my mask got fucked up this
or
week.
he's like, my fucking fingers hurt. I haven't bandaged them since that fire. My bandages has all been rotting away, but I think he was probably, obviously the film showcases a very metaphorical, Laurie feels her daughter die and she's looking across the darkness in the distance. And Michael is probably the evil of Michael is connecting with her. And she's like, going down later. I'm going to kill you, big bro. It just sounds like a regular Kentucky get together. A potluck at a fucking Kentucky gathering, but I didn't discuss it, or Mike and I didn't discuss it because I just figured it was. Well, first off, it was a non-spoiler review, right? So bringing up something like that, it's kind of hard to skirt around that. Hey, it's Karen. I mean, you could have said, "Hey, a really important character dies in a homage to Judith," but I think it would have been too much.
And I think that scene was, and we talked about this a little bit in our ending explained video, but just to cover it real fast before we get into the spoilers we haven't talked about yet, the ending where he pops up, how the fuck, this was my biggest question, one of my biggest questions of the movie is after the badass scene where he gets up and just fucks Haddonfield out of their minds. How the hell, like we cut right back to, they're all sitting on the steps of the Myers house and, they're hugging or whatever. Karen turns around, walks upstairs, goes upstairs. Michael's already in the house, pops up behind her. How the hell did he get in there? Is that a different version of his supernatural abilities? I don't think that's true. I've seen some people say that, well, like he's supernatural. Clearly, he survived all this shit. He's supernatural. That's how he got in there. Michael Myers has always been supernatural in the way that he can't die and he has superhuman strength, like they've said. They said that in the movies. But he's never been a fucking morpher, though. You know what I mean?
Well,
he's never been able to fucking like morph anywhere.
How do you know that they didn't have a fucking wardrobe that leads to Narnia that he had access to at any moment? He could just use it as a beeper and get in there.
Jason did it in Manhattan, right? Like
and he had tunnels. No. He's probably got tunnels dug under his house that he goes and pops up in sewers. And I don't know. I mean, it's probably
someone. I had an interesting thing. They said that Big John or Little John left that door open. The other side of the door, they left it open, and that's how I got back in.
I always like you want to be stupid about it. Like Michael whipped all that ass. Like that was, by the way, that was my favorite scene. Like the ending, when he kills everybody. I like that scene just because he's even more brutal than the firefighter scene. But I always imagine, just to be funny, I think maybe he killed everybody and then ran really fast, like really, really fast around the side of the house and got there before she got. And then he was like, and he snuck through a back window and he climbed up there and waited. He's like, I know she's gonna come up here because she's gonna have some kind of moment. I'm gonna kill that ass. But I don't know. I mean, that is an interesting thing because it goes back to we had talked about one of the videos before this. That might not have been a true ending. A lot of people are saying that Karen is still alive. That was all an imagination from Laurie, that she was imagining her sister dying, and then I guess one of the closest people to her is her daughter, and then putting her in that situation, and then just living a nightmare in a sense. Because they could easily explain that if they want to bring Karen back in the next movie, they could be like, oh, she's fine, and that it was just, and then she was like, oh, I had a terrible dream that you were dead.
But we kind of disproved that. I mean, I think we disproved that. Like, which, by the way, I don't know if you noticed, like, there's a bunch of news stories running about it now. Nobody had talked about it yet at all. But after that video came out, like now, like there's a lot of stories running about it. We talked about this in our Halloween ending explained video, but I'll just run through it really quickly. In the test screening of the movie, because we thought, hey, maybe Karen's still alive. Maybe she was just imagining that when she was looking at her own reflection. But, like you said, Jamie Lee Curtis was. But in the test ending, Laurie is calling Karen's phone. someone picks it up and they're just breathing, and it's a callback to H1 where Michael's holding the phone and he's just breathing in Laurie's ear. And then the next thing you know, she says, "I know that you killed my daughter," or whatever it is. She says, "I'm coming for you, Michael." She leaves the phone dangling. You can still hear Michael breathing because he's too stupid to realize that she's not on the phone anymore. He probably sat there for hours just breathing. But and then
Lori, my breath smell bad. I need a Tic Tac, sir.
Can I get a pizza?
Yeah, it's probably the worst.
She takes the knife. Lori takes the knife and starts walking out of the hospital. And that's when it's like, "I'm coming for you, Michael" happens. That was the original ending of the movie. Now, what somebody said that was really interesting about that is they may have changed that because it makes no sense, because Lori's so hurt that she needed a doctor in the hospital and ripped her stomach open. There's no way she can formidably fight Michael. And now we're pushing it to 4 years later, which we'll get into. So they had to change that because of that. But from everything I expect now, unless they change their minds and they go, "Man, we really want Karen back," 2 versions of the movie have been made, and in that version, she was 110% dead. So I think it's probably 85% sure that that's real and Karen's gone, which is a shame because I thought she was great in Kills.
Yeah, she was fine. I didn't mind her, but you know, the fact is, sometimes Karen doesn't get to see the manager, and you got to go the fuck home.
She was kind of Karen too. She was like, "They just leave your dirty clothes
and
lying
that's
around."
not, and that's the way that the cookie crumbles there, John. And
you don't have security guards.
There's no managers. Suck my butt. Get out of my store. But that, you know, and look, she's great, but I think that they really want to focus on, and I'm fine with that. They want to focus on possibly Andy Matichak's character as being the one that takes over the lineage of goalkeeping, or what? Yeah, Mutichak. Of goal checking Michael, like, you know, even if you eliminate, because they eliminated the relationship aspect, which I know that was a big controversy for a lot of people. They eliminated that, but maybe now in a way, Lori feels more like a gatekeeper against the evil that is Michael and feels responsible to keep him contained. And then it's going to pass to Andy's character. I don't know. I mean, I'm not writing the fucking script, but I'm just making up bullshit as I go. I was like, "Oh, maybe that's what they're doing. I know what they're doing. That's what they're gonna do. They're gonna do some goddamn Goonie shit." Andy, you Goonie.
Which that ties into too. Colton Candler's question says, "What's y'all's thoughts on the 4-year gap for Ends?" So it just came out that Dave Gordon Green says Ends is going to take place 4 years in the future, so it's going to be current time. And he said something along the lines of it's going to be current peculiar politics, which I think, to me, he just means like, hey, these people are living in the COVID world that we're all living in, and that's going to affect the movie, or at least how things go. It's interesting to me. I think most people's minds go to, "Oh my God, it's going to be a political movie." To me, because I don't just directly go there, I think it's going to be interesting. Imagine Michael stalking a town that's on shutdown. Imagine Michael stalking through a town that's been hit hard by COVID. You know what I mean? That has no hospital space. Imagine all the things you could do.
Well, everybody's going to be fat and out of shape. It's going to be easy pickings for him because they're going to be like at home and they can't go out. They're going to have Uber Eats. He'll hijack an Uber Eats and kill people when they open the door. It'll be simple as pie.
I was talking to my friend about that, and he was like, "What I don't like," and he made a really good point. And again, love everything they're doing at Blumhouse, and so many people on the sets are awesome. What they're doing is awesome. We like both these movies a lot. But one thing I agree with him, I do not like, is the fact that it seems like Gordon Green's changing his mind a lot. Like originally it was going to take place on the same night. Then we're going to push it forward. Now we've edited and changed the ending of the film. We've changed stuff in the middle. And I think some of that editing that happened, even though they did let it sit on the shelf for a year, some of that editing that happened is where some of the weird dialogue comes from. I think they changed their minds a couple times with what they want to do with this trilogy. And it has, I can't help but be honest and say that I think it has affected negatively story-wise a little bit.
You know what I think? You're beautiful. It's true. No, I was thinking that if they really wanted to play with this, and I know this would be super fantastical, controversial, but I'm just saying I didn't think Lori was going to get out of Halloween Kills. I really didn't.
Oh yeah, you were wrong about that. You were wrong.
I know. Fuck. I already ate my fucking crow and I swallowed it whole without any type of seasonings. No seasonings on my crow. I ate it all. Yeah, I called wrong. I said Lori was going to die in this and she did not. So I ate the crow. But what if it starts out on the same night? Maybe she goes out of the hospital against the doctor's orders, against Hawkins' orders, because she knows that her daughter, she felt that connection leave her and is just enraged, confronts Michael in that old Michael Myers house, gets killed. And then the Michael disappears. Lori's dead. 4 years go by, and now we focus on Andy Matich or whatever Matich. I can't say her last name. I don't know how she goes by now. Matichak. Mudachek. Yeah. So there we go. And now it's a central character that's removed from it. And now she just can't let it go. And she becomes, in a way, kind of like Lori was, and obsessed with trying to find Michael and make sure that he doesn't come back. And we haven't seen or heard from him. Then he pops up again in Halloween. I don't know. Because the thing is, what you got to remember, though, is Jamie Lee Curtis, Laurie Strode did say that the more he kills, the more he transcends. Now, I don't know if that means that the more that he's killing, and obviously it means that he's getting more powerful and he's becoming more of a supernatural tidal wave, I'll bite your wiener off force. But at the same time, does that mean that every like Halloween, after he's done his business, after he did his business and he got his money, he collected on those fuckers that owe him debts, that he goes back in ground, like hiding, and then he gets the power to come back every Halloween? I don't know. I mean, it's interesting, but they could do that. That's why they could remove it 4 years.
I don't want to get too far into this because we're going to do a whole video about what we think is going to happen with the ends. But I think it'd be interesting as fuck if Jamie Lee Curtis died before the opening of the movie.
It would be, you know what? It would be ballsy as fuck.
But it'd be way too Halloween Resurrection.
No, I'm not talking about like right at the beginning. I'm talking about you give her a good send off and you give it a way better treatment than they did in Resurrection.
Well, I have so much to say about that. I just don't want to get into it yet because that's a whole other thing that we're going to talk about. But like I will say that I think that they said that we're going to be surprised by who these characters are in 4 years. So I think that's telling right there. And I think that's going to be a big deal. But we'll get into all that stuff.
Michael opened up a bakery in a small street in Connecticut. And he's just living the life. He's just living the life right now. And look, he's like, I had a lot of terrible experiences since 1978, but I'm feeling great right now. I regret my past decisions, and I just want to make pies.
Hey, can I just stop? Can I stop the show real quick just to say, hey, we broke the 1,000 mark, buddy. We're at 1,012 fuck people in here.
Hey, all right.
If you're at home, take a shot, take a drink of water, eat a fucking corn dog.
We're at how many?
Celebrate with us 1,016 at this current moment, my friend.
Stop now. God.
Holy shit.
I'm going to owe you guys so much money for paying
Snack
all
packs.
of you. I have so many accounts that I've been spamming.
But I do think it's interesting. Like, if Michael disappears for 4 years and then just comes back, is he just disappearing to say, I want these people to think I'm fucking dead? And I want to wait until they actually start to believe I'm dead. And then I'm going to pop back out and start fucking killing people again. Maybe that's why sometimes he disappears for random periods at a time. Like, I want y'all to feel fucking safe. And then I'm going to come out of the fucking closet like R. Kelly.
Maybe I don't think he came out of the closet. He pissed on it.
He was
first.
trapped in the closet.
Yeah, he pissed on it first and then wrapped
closet.
No, maybe he went to high school. 4 years is a long time. Michael never got to go to high school, so maybe he just like went undercover incognito and got a GED. I don't know. Well, it'll be interesting to see what they do with it. But again, I think it's going to be something along the lines because again, it wants to be shocking and it wants to be on its own. And yes, it's very similar to the Resurrection. I understand. But if they handled it in a proper way, if they handled it in a correct way, I'm just saying that the Laurie Strode send off, if it takes, because it could technically be what he said, it all takes place in the same night. She goes to confront him, and again, you give her a good, nice, awesome moment with Michael, and you have the dialogue, and you have a really great action sequence where she takes on the monster that's haunted her all her life, and tries to go down swinging with it, and ultimately she thinks he's dead. Maybe she thinks he's dead, and then she dies, and because she feels like her mission's accomplished. Then you go 4 years later, Michael has disappeared either from the morgue or he disappears before they get there or whatever the case. And Andy, what's her name in the movie? Allison is obsessed in a similar way, like Laurie, and is hunting him down very much like a Dr. Loomis-esque type of character, trying to travel. Maybe he's traveling. Maybe he's seeing the world. I don't know. I mean, he could go anywhere. But I mean, maybe she's tracking movements. Maybe then you could get crazy. You could even introduce a little tidbit of the Cult of Thorn. You could introduce a little tidbits, little titties.
Someone said that original ending is stupid because Michael doesn't know how to use a smartphone. And I was like, perhaps someone around here gave him lessons. But all you gotta do is swipe it over and answer it. But yeah, no, Allison, I mean, they've said
it was Michael Myers. He used the smartphone. He's not smart. That's why he has a phone to do it for him, idiot.
But what if he tried to answer it and he knew it was Lori, but there was a passcode on it? He's like, God damn it. And he tries to wake Karen up. He's like, Karen, what the fuck is your passcode?
Well, you can go to AT&T. It's like, you don't have an AT&T service.
But no, they are setting Allison up to be a pure and supreme badass, dude. And like the way she fucking took it when her legs snapped like that and was like, fucking do it. do it. And then we saw that in the trailer again, but we did get to see that she knew her mom was behind her with the goddamn pitchfork, which is a cool scene. But that scene, dude, where she comes out of that hallway, very reminiscent of H4, Halloween 4, Grady. Grady gets his fucking shit popped. Cameron tries that shit, and I liked him in that scene too. I thought he did a good job, but Cameron walks out of that scene, and that's one of the things I liked about the movie. When in this movie, more so than 2018, when someone's creeping around a house or dark corner or whatever, I felt way more anticipation. It felt scarier to me, especially in the flashback scenes, which we'll get to. When a character's in the house, I was actually way more locked in. In 2018, even when Laurie's going through the house in a shotgun, there's all the mannequins and shit. I didn't really feel that. Like, I love 2018, but I didn't feel that pulse pounding, scary feeling about what's around this corner. In this movie, I did, because Michael was so fucking mad. But dude, when she comes out of that, Cameron got fucked up, obviously. But you got to give it to fucking Allison, dude. She pulls the shotgun, Michael knocks it away, and she immediately is like, I got a fucking side piece, and just put it in him like 3 goddamn times.
Like, he pushed her down the fucking steps like any politician trying to get rid of his wife.
He's like,
and her fucking leg was a pretzel. And I hate that sound. I don't know. There's something about the knee snapping, and fuck. I was like, it's like, you gonna get up? I'd be like shitting there would be a pile of poop, pee, and vomit at the same time on the floor, and I'm not moving. But yeah, she's got the balls to stand up, and she takes them on, and she's trying to protect camera and all that stuff. That's a great scene. I love that scene. The thing about the camera thing, everybody, and you are right. I saw somebody saying that the camera does redeem himself in that scene. He does, but he gets one of the best because I was going to go back to this. He gets one of the better death scenes in the movie, and I think a lot of fans wanted that particular scene to happen. But I think Karen could have got a way better death scene if they're going to actually stick with her dying. I think that they gave it to the wrong person. I mean, I'm not saying that Cameron shouldn't have got a good death, because he's an asshole. I mean, I want to see his ass poked up through the ass too with a butcher's knife. But I would have given
super edited with like that.
Yeah, I would have done. Yeah, and I know they were doing the throwback and the callback to the Judith killing, but I would have just done something really memorable. But oh well. But yeah, as far as
if they were to do that, they should have done it through his eye holes, right? Like done it through his eye holes. That would be cool.
Yeah, and actually get. Well, no, I can't, because she's passed away. But Deborah Hill to come back and do it, but she's passed away. But I would have said, but as far as like when they were walking around the corners and the suspense and the atmosphere was great. Like, the atmosphere was actually really, really good. The thing is, I'm not like you though, because I understand what you're talking about, because it really was. But I was so like, I had such a fucking boner the entire time. I wanted to see him around those corners. Like, I mean, it was like looking for a lost lover that you just want to kiss on the lips. I every time, and I don't like that. I usually have subtitles going. I mute my TV and I'll rewind it after I see the scary part, so I know it's coming. I wanted to see Michael. I wanted to be surprised. It was like a Valentine Day I didn't know I needed. But every time he popped around, I'd be like, I found you. I found you. I was like,
show me your tricks.
I was like that obsessed chick in a Scary Movie 2. Yeah. She's like, come back to me. She's like, you gave me herpes, and he runs away like the ghost. But I loved it. But yes, as far as maybe if I were removed from it and I wasn't, as involved as wanting to see Michael in that, just to see Michael, I could see. Yeah, they did a great job in suspense building. And if you're afraid of slasher films, or if they actually get your goose, this is one that's going to get you, because they got plenty of jump scares in it, tons of them.
Yeah,
they really good jump scares, really well done, really put together, awesome.
That's a great point about that last death scenes with Karen too. Like, I agree. Like, I think it was shocking, and I think it was cool how it ended with him staring out the window and his face, and it's like boom. Mm-hmm. But that kill was it was another one of those scenes that was edited weirdly. And right after this, we'll talk about that whole ending fight sequence, because it's a really big deal. But I'll grab a couple super chats real quick. Alistar Ray said the script was better for me. It was more suspenseful. They cut out and changed some of the scenes, especially the ending. I was annoyed. It did feel like there was some haberdashery going on in the editing. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, some people. My brother was I think Mike had said this before too. Is like, it did feel, a lot of people felt like it felt rushed. I think you said that. I think Cody said the same thing. I think he was talking about that. It was just like they were trying to get out of it and they didn't know, and maybe they had cut some stuff, so they only had this footage to work with, and they had to push it together, push it real good. But I still liked it. I don't know, but yeah.
No, I agree. And again, just for all of you that may have just popped in, Jay and I absolutely fucking love this movie. It was it was really satisfactory for us as Michael fans, but I get the problems as a movie it has. We both do. We understand those, and that's kind of what we're talking about as we go through here. Choice, I hope I'm saying your name right, says the ending was so satisfying and badass. Perfect. That's what we're about to talk about.
We
It's
like
the end of
that.
the
We
film.
like the opposite sides.
So this was the quintessential, and we're talking about, and by the way, I thought it was a really cool plot point. When they're in the house, she pitchforks him, she grabs his mask off. Didn't like that in the trailer so much. It was like, what's the obsession with the fucking mask? I don't think they went overboard with the obsession with the mask like we thought they were going to.
They showed his face,
But
though, and I don't fucking like that. Even though you didn't see it, it was blurred out. But I was like,
they
can you
probably
leave
showed
the
it
man
more in
alone and let him have his
2018.
fucking mask?
Yeah, they probably
Leave the
showed it
man
more in
alone.
2018 though than they did in this. But yeah, she grabs his mask, and I thought that was really smart. I did not like the dialogue when she said, "Can you feel it?" I was like, you got his mask, just.
That'd be funny if Mark Wahlberg popped out of the bush and he's like, feel it.
It was like, or Blink-182 is like, feeling this.
Yeah.
Gotta regret right now.
Yeah, it's so funny.
This.
Yeah.
I got a fucking mask. I feel this. But that's a Merkin song right there. The Merkin should do that for, but no. I didn't like the dialogue line there. Like, he's obviously, you got his mask and he's going to try to kill you. So there's no reason for you to continue saying, you killed your sister right there in that room. And can you feel it? Like, there was so much, like, I feel like so when people say that the movie tries to do a little bit too much fan service sometimes, I think they're right. And I think that was the line we didn't need. So, but anyways.
It's true. I mean, that's true. That was a really bad, just written line, because the fact is, do you think that Michael gives a shit that you're going to repeat his crimes back to him like you're John Walsh from America's Most Wanted? Like, he knows what the fuck he did, and it's been a while. Like, you're like, you killed your sister right in that room, and I was like, yeah, bitch, and I was laughing while I did it, and I'm gonna kill you now because you took my fucking mask off, and like, it pisses me off because it's like, I don't need you to stop the movie and narrate it. It's like almost like you're narrating it for people that never saw Halloween 78 or even watched the last movie. So you killed her right there in that specific corner in that room, and that piece of wood is the blood stain that's underneath the blood. I was like, yeah, but you're only doing this because you're giving people the Cliff Notes version. But
she should have kept going. She's like, and John Carpenter did it in one tracking shot, and it's one of the most famous shots in horror, Michael. So you should be proud of that. But I'm still taking this.
Yeah, it was. I was just. Michael, it's like Doctor Who's like, this is why you die, and Michael can't have nice things. It's like, but it's funny. It's like I was thinking when you say, can you feel it? Every time you say it, dude, I think that Marky Mark in the Funky Bunch. He's like, hey, he goes, but he's like, can you feel it, baby? I can too. When he does Good Vibrations, it was the way it was just a shakily bad line. And again, maybe they thought maybe it worked in test, maybe, but it didn't work. It just didn't land. And I mean, again, you don't need to give people the back fucking story. Michael doesn't care. You don't need to explain to the criminal what he's there for. He's a psychopathic serial killer.
From what I understand, I have a friend that saw the test screenings, and from what I understand from their point of view, these are a lot of things that, as much as everybody in the test screening loved the movie, these are some of the things they actually had brought up to them months, actually over years before the movie came out. But I do like the idea that she took his mask and she leads into a trap. I thought that was a really cool idea, like, right? Especially when she
led me into a trap as an audience member. I was like, oh shit, really?
Yeah, you see his mask sitting there like, oh no.
I know, because I knew he was gonna get hurt. I was like, don't do it.
But they come out, and god damn it, if another bad line doesn't just break the tension, Brackett, who I thought was, I'm sorry, like, I know people, I thought he was awful.
I was not a fan.
But he comes out and he's like, everyone's tired of one good scare. Yeah. Were you playing laser tag?
Now Brackett was drunk on that. Brackett was drunk on Jameson from the bowling alley still. He was like, oh, this one's for Annie, you piece of shit. like a drunk dad coming home ready to fucking deal the business.
That was such a tension killer. Like, I hated that. But again, the overall scene, we could recognize these bad moments in the scenes, but the overall scene was really badass.
Yeah.
Michael gets it. Oh man, he gets fucking his ass kicked, doesn't he? Like, he gets so fucking badly.
I was so.
I was thinking of you when I watched it. I was like, I bet Jay's fucking pissed.
I was pissed. I was, and I almost cried. I was literally almost fucking crying, dude, because I felt the same movement and sympathy inside of me when Rocky was getting his ass beat by Drago, and you didn't know. And I was like, get up, you son of a bitch, because Mickey loves you. Because I knew he was getting his ass fucking beat, and also reminded me of RoboCop when OCP gets the police department to turn on him, and he's getting shot up, and you just see him poorly, like he's trying to get off. I'm like, stop it, you're killing him. And then, dude, I swear, my butthole clenched tighter than a fucking catcher's mitt. When that gun was held to the back of his head, I was like, if you motherfuckers do this, I will never forgive you.
The Loomis scene?
Yeah, because not just the Loomis thing, because I thought Brackett was going to do it too.
Oh, yeah.
Like it was finally going to end.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, I swear to God. And I love everybody that's worked on it. They all seem like very nice and sweet people. And I'll invite them over for, some Netflix and some Thanksgiving dinner one day. But I won't watch Halloween Ends.
Ooh,
I thought they were
can we
going to
play
blow the back
Parcheesi?
of his fucking brains out. And then they were going to have like Lori. They were going to do something wild. Like one of them was going to take over and be Michael. Like that comic book that we read. And Lori became obsessed with Michael and became Michael.
Oh, God.
I was like, I was fucking, dude. I almost called, dude. I was like, I was going to text you. I'm like, dude, I'm literally shaking while I'm texting. I'm crying. I think I need you to come over and talk to me for a little bit.
Honey, I gotta go chasing trouble.
I was so fucking and April, she was like, my girlfriend. She was looking at me. She was like, because you know, I see people because you could see that they're visibly upset in your peripheral. Because I was going, fucking shit. I just kept like saying, but yeah, dude, that I get it. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I get it. Like I didn't want it either. Like, but thank God Halloween Ends was coming because you knew he wasn't gonna die. You know what I mean? Like, because like if that was happening at the end of Ends, dude, could you imagine your fucking like anxiety level that they're actually about to kill him? Like how
did it
pissed
just
you would
end
be?
it?
Like, oh my God, yeah. Like if oh shit,
Hell fucking no, dude. You're not gonna live. Look, I seen the days of Lost. I didn't watch the show, but I saw people biting their fingernails. What is going to happen in the next season? Yeah. I know how they did Lost, the TV series. I don't want that.
No, I'm saying it. What if that scene took place in Ends and you're watching Ends knowing it's the last of this trilogy and that's happening? You're thinking this house.
Well, I guess I'd be arrested for stalking because I'm going to David Gordon Green's house and I'm going to sit outside.
That's what it's like watching Tom Brady get the lead on your team in the playoffs. But like, so that scene happens and you just know, though, something fucking is coming. And I was getting charged up. And it happened so fast. They go back to the house to show a little scene. They're talking or whatever. They go back to Lori to talk about killing Transcend. Maybe that was a different moment. But either way, Michael fucking dude, he's so fucked up. He's like,
beast moded.
I can't get my knife.
Dude, he was getting fucking he was getting ruined. He was getting ruined.
I was actually worried for Karen though. When she went up to stab him, I was like, that's when she's gonna come back. And I thought that's when Karen was gonna die. I thought he was gonna grab the knife and be like, no, bitch. But
yeah,
she lived through that scene, thankfully. But it was,
and I think it answered. I think it answered the age old, like as far as in this trilogy, it answered the question. He's supernatural as fuck,
dude. Absolutely. He's stabbed 3 times in the stomach by Andy, right? Like he's shot several times in that scene.
4 times.
He's got the fucking shit.
Tommy.
Tommy hit him with the bat, but then earlier in the movie, Kyla Richards beat the shit out with a bag of fucking bricks. That was smart, by the way.
That was some street justice.
Yeah, she's played Final Fight before.
That was some street justice, bro.
But yeah, like that was he's definitely supernatural, and that's what I actually loved about that scene when he gets up. It was, and I'm gonna let you talk about it because I know you fucking love this scene. I love the idea of the scene. I love the same things you love about that scene. I'll let you explain why we both love it. But what I didn't like about it, man, is I felt like it was a little over edited and it was a little too slow-mo. I kind of wanted to see that play out real time a little bit because he's got all these people around him.
That's
You're
true.
like, it's like that song, Fort Miners, like, how did they do it? Like, I was like, how does he do it? Like
10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power and will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain.
But he slashed his throat and then kills the guy with the gun. It all looked cool. And I loved it, especially another scene shouldn't have been fucking trailer, but that was great. It almost took me out of it. I was like, oh, stop slowing it down. I want to see it. I want to see it fucking. And I think what you're saying just happened.
If they had done a wide lens, like, because I'm saying like I'm in the business, I'm not. We're not in the business. But if they had done a far away shot and got the whole thing in, like just like let that shit play out like fucking Hamlet. I want to see
one
all
or the other. Like it doesn't have to be like you can do the close up shots, but if you're gonna do the close up shots, don't also do the slow mo. I wanted to feel it.
Yeah. You got to feel it like Marky Wahlberg's tits.
Yeah.
I was on. Yeah, and look, I don't know the reason why it was so cool. Is first off, I was glad that he was alive, and I was pissed, and I was like, no, you get up and fuck them up, Michael. I'm talking about I want rage out there. I want the Reds, Michael. I want it now. Right now. I want it. Fuck. I was so happy that he got up and he was, it looked good. I liked it. And it was, I don't know if you guys are boxing fans, but it was when Tyson Fury just set up like the Undertaker when Deontay Wilder knocked him out in the first fight. And he just sets up like a demon and he comes after him out of the gate. Yeah. It was like and again, I know we're talking about a horror movie here, but it felt like a comeback story. I felt like I was watching Rocky. I don't know. It really did. It felt like it's like my ring's outside.
Lionheart. Lion,
It was like,
lion.
beat him up, Dad. He took my room, like Rocky 5. Like, go for it. But yeah, but I liked it a lot too, is because it was the first time you really saw, other than the firefighter scene, you saw this actual demonic, evil, unleashed, finally, just the whole thing unleashed on the world. It was amazing. It was one of the, and again, it's my favorite scene. It's even, to me, it's better than the firefighter scene. It's probably not shot as well, but it's still a fucking incredible scene. And then Tommy, I mean, he's killing fucking characters left and right. He don't give a shit what your name is. Tommy dies, Brackett dies, like he's fucking them up, and he's like, I was trying to kill all you all anyway, and I couldn't wait. You're so stupid, you got close to me, and now I got you. But do you know? I'll tell you what. Leading up to that fight, I loved it, dude. The music.
It was always a trap, baby.
By the way,
It was never a cage.
The music was incredible.
Yeah.
And I saw a comment here, and someone's like, the music's probably better than in 18. It could be, because the music was really, really good.
Yeah.
When they leave his mask on the ground, he picks it up, and then he kind of looks at him, and I'm like, dude, it was shot so. He was like Russell Crowe in Gladiator walking into the thing. He's like, my name is Marcus Aurelius.
Husband to a murdered wife.
Because give me my mask.
To a murdered son.
It looks so cool, and I was like, "Oh man, we on." Then he got his ass kicked, and I was like, "It better not end this way." And thankfully, it didn't. But yeah, I think we love it for the fact that Michael gets his ass kicked, but then he unleashes this inner demon that he's always had since he killed his sister. And you find, I mean, to me, it's the first time you actually see this evil that Loomis, the evil is inside. Kill it now. I think that is finally what you see come to life on that street, and the fact that he did it in the middle of the fucking street.
Yeah. Dude, it was like the end of Training Day when Denzel Washington stand there and he knows he's beat. He lights that cigarette. He's like,
it really was.
he's like, you think you can do this to me? He's like, King Kong ain't got shit on me. Instead of getting fucking blown up by bullets, he fucking ruined everybody's goddamn life. But yeah, that was.
Yeah, he was just.
Even though I wasn't a fan of the way it was shot, it was such an amazing scene.
Dude, it showcased. I mean, what I liked also, and I think you did too, is the fact that there was no more question or backing away from the fact that they were embracing that Michael is now 100% supernatural. Like, this was not like a question anymore. Like in Halloween 2018, they kind of left it up in the air for people to decide. This was absolutely 100%. Michael is demon incarnate. He's evil incarnate. And that's what I loved the best. I mean, I thought it was great.
I enjoyed that aspect of it as well. But it is also interesting because he's not super duper fucking Superman supernatural, because when he's in the people who live next to Laurie Strode's house, he's in the bathroom trying to fix his shit up, right? And when he hurt his hand, he
hadn't killed enough.
Right, he transcends. Oh,
maybe maybe he heals himself.
What if we go the Dennis Edgerton Halloween 4 script, when the more he kills, like his shit starts to grow back and he starts to get cool.
I'd be fine. Like he's like
goddamn
Logan,
super shredder.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden Jensen Ackles shows up with Jared Padalecki from Supernatural. They're like, we got to take this guy down.
Man, the Halloween traditionalists would shit a fucking river, dude, if they started doing that. Like, I don't know.
That would actually, you know what?
But oh my god, so many tears.
It would be genius, because it was like, she's already set it up, kind of. I mean, it's like he transcends. So why couldn't he regenerate? If he's a demon, and the more he kills, like maybe he's taking their life essence and it's causing a regeneration of his evil heart. I don't know.
And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I enjoy the tears of traditionalists. I love you guys too. But I'm just saying, like, people would be fucking pissed.
Why would they be mad?
Because they want shadows, Michael. They want sneaky Michael. They want flashback
I get
Michael.
That, but I mean, I get. Yeah, sometimes they don't want to know how the magician does his tricks.
Yeah,
like if he were an actual, I mean, it would confirm the fact that Michael's an actual fucking demon. I mean, but I will agree. It's so weird because it's so, you can come down on either side, but the traditionalists, I think in a lot of ways, Mike and I favor the traditionalists in some aspects for sure. But I mean, the fact is, we always side with traditionalists on the fact that the less you reveal about Michael is the better. The reasoning behind Michael's madness, the better, because the idea that a little boy just decides up and out of nowhere when he was like 5 years old to go kill his sister, or 6 years old to go kill his sister in a suburban, well-to-do neighborhood is fucking scary, because that could happen anywhere in America. So the less you do is better. But at the same time, I like to see I just like to see the brutal side of Michael, and I like when they embrace the fucking like X-Men like quality of the regeneration that he has. I don't know. I can be in both camps.
Yeah, I like it a little bit both. And again, me and Jay have rented Halloween 6 more times than you've rented anything. I promise.
Not more than that porn, but it was one.
I'm gonna bang through some super chats really quickly. We got so much more to talk about, and I gotta take a pee. So I want to catch some super chats before we each take a pee. And then we got don't go anywhere, guys. We got so much to get into. Again, over 1,000 people here. Can't thank you guys
holy
enough.
shit! Don't keep saying that, because every time you do it, it makes me it knocks my Connect 4 back down. I ain't ready for that.
Jonathan Mann said, really sad Michael didn't sing Amadeus and H Kills. Rock me Amadeus, Amadeus.
Dude,
Someone should flip the music over the slaughter scene. Yeah,
the Amadeus song. Yeah, that's the only part I remember is like, I said a taco because I can't speak German. So guten Tag. That's all I can say.
Thank you, Azinze, for the super stick. Appreciate that. Thank you, Michael Lewick, for that. Appreciate it, buddy. And Dirk Hall says, Evil lives all right. Oh, I like that. That's a good idea. I love the movie, and I've noticed the younger fans hating it. Favorite shape ever. I haven't noticed that it's younger or older people hating it. That's interesting. That's interesting.
I would imagine the older folks would be angrier.
Maybe
because they were the ones. I think the older folks might have been angry because they canceled the Michael Loomis. Or not Michael Loomis, but the Michael Laurie relationship. So going into they could already had built in. I don't like this new version of Michael. I mean, I don't. That's weird, but I mean, I don't know. I mean,
yeah, that's
it's not for everybody. I mean, that's the thing. It's not.
But he agrees with you. Dirk agrees with you. Says favorite shape ever. That's what you said too. Was your favorite?
Dude. Yeah, absolutely. Michael ever. Ever. And I got to be honest. Those flashback scenes of Michael, that dude that played him. That fucking mask looks sexy as shit. That old school OG mask, and the guy that played brutal as fuck. And really, I dug the shit out of it. But I'm not saying he's better than Nick Castle. I'm just saying, I don't know. I just like the overall aesthetic and the presentation of Michael Myers in this one. I think he's the best. I think he's the best version they've ever put out. I just do.
And I cannot wait after we take a break to talk to you guys about Aaron Armstrong, the guy who played the shape in the flashbacks.
What's his name?
Aaron. I don't know if it's Aaron or Aaron.
That sounds like a Keenan and Peele skit. What's your name? Balake. I swear to God, if the next motherfucker says a fake name, Aaron. Aaron. Hey, that's not his name.
I'm trying to get him on the show. I did him on Instagram to get him on the show because I want to talk to him. He's the guy that played shape in the flashbacks, and we'll talk about that. Brittany Bush, thank you so much. You're such a sweetheart. You always are. We love your fucking face. She says, hope you guys are doing well. I miss coming to the chat's always just been busy. We get it, man. This October's been fucking nuts.
Crazy.
She says, me and Rover Neri saw it Saturday and cannot get over how great it was. My first Halloween movie in theaters. Love you guys. We love you too, Brittany.
Love you. Thank you so much.
I gotta tell you guys, no hate or disrespect to anybody who hated the movie. That's fine. Like, totally understand. But I get so excited, like in this lead up for the past 2 years, we've been talking about this movie nonstop. When people come and they say, I fucking loved it, I get charged, dude. I get fucking ganked. And I don't even know what that word means, but I get ganked for you guys.
I think it means that you get shanked and raped in the shower in jail. Oh. I think that's what it means. I've been addicted to 60 Days In. But yeah, it's amazing, dude. I'm really happy that people love it. Or, and it's weird, it is becoming divisive, but the people that don't like it generally, I mean, mostly it's been, I've seen some stuff here and there, and it seems like, because I'm not on Facebook anymore, but it does seem like what I have seen, most people are generally respectful about what they don't like. They come up with respectable arguments. Now, sometimes it's stupid, but other times I get why they don't like it. So it's not like one of those, it's not like they're just blatantly they don't like it, for no reason.
I have seen a lot of, it fucking sucks. I'm like,
yeah. I'm not seeing because I'm not on the devil stuff anymore. The devil juice, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, devil juice. I'm not on that anymore. I took a break from it, Jim. But I mean, just the regular comments. Like I'm not gonna say they're angels, but on Reddit, like I've seen fights and I've seen people get mad about shit. But it seems like some of the and just you beautiful peeps that are talking about your complaints about it. They're not disrespectful. You just I get what you don't like. And again, Mike said it earlier. It's not a cringy. It's not a perfect movie. There's cringy dialogue in it, which does hold it back from being a perfect movie. But still,
editing issues. Yeah,
we all are fans of Michael Myers, and we all can get along. And at the end of the day, we can have sex in the park. So I love having sex in the park. As long as you're of age.
Yeah, with sandwiches. Mike Production says Michael's still missing his fingers, by the way. Yeah, he was. So he's not that fucking supernatural. And again, he was trying to fix himself up in the bathroom. So, and I like that. It gets me going. I like the mystery of not knowing how supernatural he is. I think when you go into Ghost Jason territory, as much as I like that, when you go into Uber Jason, it definitely takes out any mystery of it whatsoever. You know, having that line, maybe you can kill him, maybe you can't. I don't.
Well, it goes
know.
back to the idea that if he's transcending, if he's regenerating,
Ooh,
I mean, they could steal something that from that script, but at the same time, maybe if you're supernatural, if you like, you remember Death Becomes Her. Like those bitches had to fucking keep themselves from falling apart. Like you're immortal, but if you fall apart, you're fucked. So he lost his 3 fingers, and now he has to figure out how to live with that forever.
That's a really good
I can't ever jack off with this head ever. But yeah, who knows?
That's why I get so pissed about it too. He's
Yeah,
like, this shit's gonna hurt for months.
It's not gonna grow back, asshole.
No way. Jose says that's why I hated the Rob Zombie Halloween. It felt like they were trying to justify why did the things they did. The less we know, the better. Exactly. You can turn on any goddamn fucking A&E show and see a story about a guy who lived in a trailer park and got treated like shit by his parents. Nothing like, you know what I mean? And got beat as a kid and turned out to be a super
it's usually the Lifetime movie of the week.
Yeah, like
I don't need to see that.
Michael Myers is something different, and he should have stayed something different. That's what
I feel like I was watching Honey Boo Boo's fucking documentary. I'm not, you know, and by the way, and nothing against the guy, nothing against the dude, but
oh shit, I can click it and they'll pop up on the fucking
screen.
That's
there.
Fucking
cool,
man.
That's cool as fuck. I like
Look
that.
At that.
That's some sexy shit. I feel like we're on pop-up video. But yeah, I felt like that kid, and again, nothing against him because I'm sure he's a wonderful human being, but the little kid, the actor, I could not stand that little boy that looked like he smelled like fresh butt crack. Every time I saw him, I just didn't like him. And he's like, "Hi, I'm Michael Myers." And I'm like, "God damn it, stop talking. You stop talking. You're evil little shit. And I hope you have a step in the shower and you have something go up your butthole and you remain silent for the rest of your life. If it's a shower curtain, be it. You shut up." I could not, because he was like trying to be cool. He's like, "I'm Michael Myers." Yeah. Oh, fuck, dude. But that's cool that you could pop that up there and pop a video. Yeah. Hey, morning, boo. Morning, boo. I can make fun of him too. Morning, boo. Morning, boo.
Dakota Butner says that not Butner, I said Butner. Dakota Buckner says that scene when Michael picks up his mask, that music comes on and gets goosebumps. Goosebumps also go Braves. Yeah, fuck 2-0 in LCS. Fucking yeah, man. That was awesome.
Go Mariners. Go Mariners.
Woo. Ken Griffey
I don't
Jr.
even know who they are.
Dude, I think him putting on the mask in that scene, I think trumps him putting on the mask from the trunk of that car in 2018. I think it was cooler. You know, in 2018, where he's in the back of that car and he puts on the mask and like slow motions, him putting on the mask on again.
Yeah.
I think this scene of him putting on the mask in the middle of the street and kills is actually cooler.
That's like, that's like when you find the Game Genie in like the old school days of Nintendo. You're like, I can finally beat this level. You bitches are all in trouble. But yeah, it was really, dude, that was, I don't know. I'd have to go back and watch it a few more times, but I do that scene in 2018 is classic. I mean, it's classic.
Yeah, they're both good.
I'll do this
Matt,
one. Well, go ahead.
No, you do it.
Okay. Well, this is where it's fun because we can both read it.
Oh, no, you go.
No, you do.
No, it's okay.
I was just.
I'm kidding. I'm fucking with you. Go ahead.
I know. I was too. I was fucking with you too. I was like, I was just gonna, but we don't. Do you want to touch my hand? No.
I have a large shake fries.
You talk to me. Go ahead. No, you read it. I'll read the next.
No,
one.
Seriously, you read it.
I can't say his last name, so I'm gonna give it to you.
Read the next few. I've been reading them all fucking night.
I can't read his last name.
Fashinda.
Is that how you say his last name? That's amazing. That sounds like a great spaghetti.
Fashinda is what I was gonna say.
Matt Fashinda, thank you so much. Matt Fashinda says, when I saw the scene where Allison discovers the body of Big John and Little John, and Anne Murray was playing on the record player, I just imagined Michael singing along to the song. Yes, he would listen to that song because he's a stupid asshole. But yeah, 100%. I can imagine Michael, like, he wouldn't be singing it, but maybe he's humming it in his mind. Yeah.
And if you notice in that scene, by the way, I didn't notice it until like the third watch. The way he set up Big John and Little John and their death scene was exactly like the picture. Michael fucking saw the picture of them laying in each other's laps, and just to be a smartass, he laid their dead bodies in the exact position of the picture they had framed next to their bed. That's fucked up, dude. It was
a weird, brutal, kind of like evil kind of thing. By the way, someone 7leave1990. I know this isn't a super, but so what about the super chats they missed earlier? Sometimes we can't get to all of them because they only stay up for so long. So what will happen is, and Mike has suggested this before, if you're new here, if we miss your super chat, we will promise that we'll get it on the next one. You just got to email us at wewatchedmovie2@gmail.com, and 100% it will be got to. Definitely.
Yeah, if we missed one, then we'll start the next stream with it just to get you guys, because we do appreciate every single one of them and every single one of you guys. Will says something here, or no, sorry, Anthony Stamps.
Go ahead.
It says, since we're talking about the spoilers, what did JLC post on her Instagram that was a spoiler? Oh, that's easy. She posted Hawkins in the bed. Hawkins, were all meant to believe was dead in 2018. And I actually knew that was the one thing that the guy I talked to who saw the test screening told me about. And he didn't even mean to, but he told me about that part of it. And I was really psyched. I was like, man, this is going to be awesome. To find out that Hawkins is still alive after Sartain goopy him, that's going to be awesome. And then, so I already knew that, but yeah, she did just post a picture of Hawkins in the movie, which was the first blatant display that he had lived out of all things. So that was the thing that Hawkins
maybe she didn't know. Alive. I mean, who knows? I mean, I don't know. I mean, there was a miscommunication. There was maybe a miscommunication between her and I don't know, but I don't know how fucking Twitter works. So I'd be like, oh, I don't think this is a spoiler. Hey, look at Michael's fucking real face. There's this. Okay, well, this would be fun. We'll take turns. That'd be fun. Will Arwine, thanks so much. He says, I love the fact Hawkins said he was never after you, Lori. When they were beating Michael, I said in the theater, leave him alone, stop hurting our boy. Dude, I did too. Did you cry? Because I think we connected each other over to a full moon. Because I was literally almost in tears because I was so pissed. But yes, I kind of feel like he put her in her place. He's like, it's not about you. Okay? Yeah. It's about evil. It's about evil. Stop making it. But I felt like he was like finally saying someone to Lori because she's like just freaking out. And they're like, dude, calm down. It doesn't always have to be about you. Like, he's not interested in you. He's just a fucking killer. And I did like that. That was cool.
And I do think that the series maybe I think they're trying to say something with that. I think we're going somewhere where Lori's her mindset's going to get really fucked up when she realizes, when someone tells her that Sartain dropped them off and she has time to process that, or there's going to be a scene where she goes up to Michael and Michael just ignores her and walks off. Like sometimes he will just walk away from victims. He won't kill every single one like he did to Lonnie when he was a kid.
Dude, he killed that little kid.
Yeah, dude.
Killed that little kid, dude.
Yeah, no, I know.
I was like, that's the second one. Fuck.
Yeah, that was another off-screen
kill. Don't be leaving your children out in the music or like little playgrounds at night, you dumbasses. Like, holy shit. He took that kid's head off.
He did, dude. He fucked that kid up.
I know. I was like,
it was so gnarly. It's for the unrated DVD.
I know.
But he but like when I think there's gonna be a scene of something in Ends, and we're gonna do a whole video about this, but where Lori walks up to him and like she's like, I'm here, Michael, and Michael just goes and just like walks the other way, and it's gonna fuck with her emotionally because she spent her whole life living in this world of Michael Myers, thinking he's obsessed with her, and we're finding out that he actually doesn't give a fuck. That's gonna fuck her shit all up, man.
The only weird thing about they do explain that Michael just wants to go home. But he takes a weird path to get there. Like he makes sure he tries to do maximum damage. It's like the I don't know. I don't know what movie it was, but it was like the guy that was trying to run to get a touchdown, and he intentionally runs over the corner guard. The guy's trying to run away from him, and he's like making sure that he runs over him before he gets to the end zone. He's like, I'm gonna cause as much destruction on this fucking town as I can, and then I'll go home.
Yeah.
But I don't. It's
sometimes I go to the gas station to get a Slurpee, but I don't kill 17 people on my way there.
It's like, I mean, you might do that, in falling down, but you're not going to do that in real life. But yeah, it's an interesting. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do with that. But yeah, if he walked away from her, I mean, at this point, you might as well. I mean, you might as well. Michael, be like, he funny. Michael, it's like he's like, bitch, nobody cared about you to begin with. That's why they even try to kill you.
He's like not really. A little bit. He's like, get off my dick.
He's like, get off my fucking dick.
You got to read this one because this is straight up Loomis.
Okay, System Monitor. Thank you so much. I don't know. That kind of scares me. Are you a part of Anonymous on 4chan?
Are you the hall janitor?
I'm a System Monitor. You're going to be hacked. No, you're not.
Please sit on my face.
Say that, Michael. Deputy Hawkins. Did he kill again? Goddamn you, Michael. I do remember that scene. That was
how much better would it have been if he said "Goddamn you, Michael"? By the way,
it would have been amazing. Well, the only thing is, I did laugh a little bit when I heard him. I heard the tires screech outside the house. He's like, "Is he here? The evil? Is it here?" It's like, Loomis, oh my God, you drunk. Stop. You don't know yet. You don't know. But yeah, that was a great line. And again, the guy they picked to play Loomis, they did a really incredible job I didn't know this. Mike told me. Actually, Christopher Nelson had mentioned that it was legit prosthetics on that guy's face. Like they had a guy that generally looked like Donald Pleasance that worked with him on set, and then the rest of it was just the prosthetics that Christopher Nelson applied.
Yeah, Chris texted me and told me that, by the way, and then like 3 days later, like bloody disgusting, everybody's running with it like it's a news story. I was like, y'all late.
Yeah, I mean, Chris texted about me when we were like laying in bed together. So it's no big deal. I just didn't want to bring it up like that. But I know. But yeah, it's cool though. I mean, that guy probably without makeup already looked like him because I could see just the general like shape of his face.
Yeah,
I don't. Was that his voice? I don't know.
Was
that his face? Was that his voice?
I don't know if that was his voice or not. I don't know if that. I think they used somebody else's voice. Maybe I think it was the same guy that did the voice recorder thing. But yeah, dude, Chris Nelson worked that guy up.
Yeah, he really did. It looked good. It looked really good. I was like, I mean, hopefully Chris Nelson could stop by when we do a sketch or something and help do the makeup for me. I'll even shave my fucking part of the top of my head for it.
Dude, he could make you fucking look just like
I would love it. Yeah, I was like, hey, we have a picture. We can go off that.
Oh, man. Hey, if we just fly to fucking California, he'll probably just do it. You know what I mean? Like, we'll just, bring some beer.
I like how Michael Dunn says, or Mikal Dunn says, did you play Dr. Loomis? Obviously not. Like, because I would be at the red carpet premiere. I did not play Dr. Loomis.
Okay, where are we? I lost the fucking.
It's after system monitor. Oh,
yeah, but it's fast forwarded on me. Oh, there we go. Okay. Ken Burnett says the scene when Michael lifts up the door, he was hiding behind the house fire scene gives me chills. That's what we're talking about, dude. When he does really that, you're like, oh, he's cooked to perfection and ready to fuck some people up, especially if you work in the firefighting profession.
Yeah, dude. It's like when you're trick-or-treating and you get a king-size Reese cup package in your bucket. And you're like, God damn, I hit the right house today. Yeah, dude. That was to me, it's the cool moment in Batman 89 when you see the Batmobile for the first time you see Michael Keaton walking across the gravel on the rooftop. Yeah, I do it. Yeah, chills out the butt. I had goose pimples in my tank.
Shit was amazing, dude.
Stephen live 1990. Thank you so much. He says, what do you guys think of them not using a replica 78 mask for the flashback and instead using a cleaner 2018? I did love it either way. Well, I think that the reasoning behind not using a replica 78 mask, it's possible that, and again, we didn't work on it, so we don't know. I'm sure that the licensing is fine now, but maybe they wanted to make their own spin on it in their own way. They took the 2018, cleaned it up, and they were like, hey, it's still our mask, but we're paying homage to the Shatner mask. So I don't know. I feel like it was who did we talk to? I can't remember the guy's name that we interviewed, but he said every movie's different and they have their own idea about, I think Chris Nelson actually had said that before. He's like, they all have their own idea about the mask they want. So in a lot of ways, it could have been like they just didn't want to use the 78 mask because they felt like it was too similar to what John Carpenter had done, and they want to pay homage to it, but they want to make it their own shit. But I'll tell you what, that mask looked fucking great. That mask looked legit.
It was one of the best masks I've ever seen, and it's amazing to me that Chris Nelson and them can do that with that mask. When you think about Halloween, fucking all the way back to Halloween 2, Halloween 4, Halloween 5, Halloween 6, they always tried to really replicate that mask, and 2 did it the best, sure, but like they always tried to replicate that mask, and it never fucking worked. Just like, oh, you could have all the fucking cooks in the kitchen you want, and it never worked. Chris Nelson's like, I made this mask, and then I made a crispy mask, and I'll fucking do it. And that shit was beautiful. I mean, it was fucking beautiful. It made me want to go out and buy a new 78 mask.
I feel like Chris was kind of like, and I thought you all was going to give me a challenge. Shit, you want that? I'll be done with that in 2 days. But
I'll make y'all breakfast too.
But it looked good, and to be honest, and I didn't notice. Maybe I'm not as super of a fan as I claim to be, but I thought it was an actual replica. I thought they actually got the mold of William Shatner's face and they fucking did a mask.
It looked that good though. It really did.
It really did. I mean, the makeups was amazing.
Did you read the last one? Just go ahead and read this one.
I already read it.
Fuck you. Miriam Vanessa. Hey, Miriam, what's that? She said, I know you guys weren't super excited about the opening pumpkin scene, but pretty sure it's for all 12 movies, or maybe I'm reaching love you, sexy bitches. I heard that afterwards, and I thought that's fucking cool. The fact they had 12 pumpkins for 12 movies, even though they're kind of made them not canon.
Oh my God, I didn't even think about that. That you smart, Miriam. Fuck. I didn't know that.
Now, I did like the opening. I think we both liked the opening sequence. I mean, I liked it.
Well,
I
was thinking of something else, but yeah, I mean, it was still fine.
Yeah, like I think that was one of those expectation things.
Honestly,
it was still cool.
You know, one of the better opening scenes that they ever did with Halloween for me anyway was and the movie sucks so much donkey dick, it's ridiculous. It should have a full-time job in Tijuana. Is Halloween 5. That opening scene, like when he's slicing the shit out of that pumpkin, with you see his hand. I know it's not like much, and it's not much to go on, but just the noise simplicity of that. Yeah, I love it, and I also like that sound because it's kind of satisfying. It's kind of like ASMR. I don't know, so I kind of like. But that's one of the best scenes they ever used to open Michael Myers. But yeah, you get Andrew Graciosa. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I hope I am. But he says, "Hey guys, I've seen it twice now, and I absolutely love it. Woo! I really wish we got a little bit more Laurie in it, but still, it's amazing. Easily a 9 out of 10. I give it a 9 out of 10 as well. I can see where you want Laurie, and you know what? You're kind of right. And I think Mike and I talked about this in the non-spoiler review. I think that what happened in a lot of people's eyes, and I'm not saying that not in everybody's eyes, but I mean some people that have disagreements with it, especially with the dialogue not being as well. I think what happened is that the movie came in and they were trying to pay so much respect to what had come before and give as much homage to the original as they could that you packed it too much. You packed it with too many peeps, and you're only going to have an hour and 43-minute movie. You're not going to have time to really develop and flesh out all their characters. I mean, you had Tommy, you had Sheriff Brackett, you had Lindsay, you had multiple different angles. You had whatever. I mean, I felt like Laurie Strode was what they really. But I feel like they also might have thought too. Laurie had her premiere and her big run in 2018. So maybe they wanted to take, because again, I also think they're grooming Allison's character to take over. Mm-hmm. So they're like, well, it's a hero's journey. So you got to have the old guard step back so the new guard can step up.
And I like that. I wish that her dialogue didn't get cut up so much and that she could just have like one nice scene. But I do think that going away from Jamie Lee Curtis was for me, I liked it because we got to focus on some other stuff for a little bit because we've been doing this thing for so long. Now we got to focus on some other stuff about Michael, different thing. Now, the fact that they took it, one of the things I hated about the movie was the fact that the entire mental patient escapee, hated that storyline, but we'll get into that. But yeah, I think that was the whole idea of that. Joker's doll says the lady with the iron in the group had me dead. Yeah, dude, I didn't notice it, but one of the ladies outside the street is holding a fucking iron. She came out of her house like with a fucking iron.
I will crease your jeans.
Like Michael's like, it's not even plugged in.
Hey, I will crease your jeans, and you'll have to go to school with creased jeans. You know how people will laugh at you? They will laugh. Ha ha.
Where was she on the set of Halloween 5? Like, tuck your mask in, Michael, and let me fucking iron that collar and pop it up a little bit.
Two things. One time, and she stopped doing it. My mom, she used to crease my jeans when I went to high school or in middle school, and then finally people were like, "Ben, dog, your jeans are creased." I just thought it was normal, and I had to tell mom, I was like, "Mom, stop creasing my jeans. People are making fun of me. It's weird. Like I'm not wearing a cowboy boots, and I'm not listening to Alan Jackson." And then she was like, "Oh, you don't know nothing. You don't want to look good with creased jeans. A lot of people don't have irons." She didn't call it irons, but she said arns. But anyway, the second thing, what you were talking about, what'd you say about just something about what'd you say about Michael? Did you say something? You said something right before.
No, all he said was the lady with the iron in the group had me dead. Which was
I thought you said something else I was going to comment on. But yeah, that shit was funny.
You want to get Mark there? Mark Dorman?
Oh yeah, Mark Dorman. Yeah, Mark Dorman. Yeah, sexy Mark Dorman. He says, Michael to Laurie. The day Michael Myers graced your neighborhood with his presence changed the course of your life. For me, it was October 31st. Did Michael say that? Did Michael talk there? Mike, that's the letter that Michael sent. He just screenshotted it and he screen grabbed it and put it on the screen. Like when he wrote, I just want you to know. And he talks. And by the way, Michael's apparently an asshole because he talks about himself in the third person. What a bitch.
Yeah, he finally speaks like Silent Bob, and he speaks to the third person. It sounds all wise and shit. Atomic number 9 says, I genuinely thought Michael was going to rip Cameron's head off when he came down the stairs. I was a little disappointed when he didn't. That's one thing
I did too. Yeah, I thought it was going to be a decapit. I thought he was going to pull that shit off. It was going to go boom.
How badass he was in that scene where he stopped halfway down the stairs and went, you there? Like he fucking saw us like, oh, a fucking head for me to break. Yeah. Like the only cool thing would be if he turned around to Allison after he snapped his neck and went.
You know what Michael should have done, or not Bruce Michael, but Cameron should have done is he should have played fucking possum. I know you're in pain, and I know your body and your nerves are twitching, but if you weren't moving around, he's not gonna rip your fucking head off like he did. Like he's not gonna keep twisting it. Like if you just like and I don't know, somehow find a miracle. Find a miracle. Be the miracle, as Bruce Almighty says, and make your feet work and pull yourself back from the banister where you're not such an open target. I don't know, but yeah, it was a brutal ass scene, man. And again, it was one of those scenes I feel like kind of was wasted because Karen didn't get the scene that I think, and again, I definitely understand that. Like,
yeah,
she should have got a way better death scene.
I'll be right back, dude. I'm gonna piss
I gotta
myself.
go pee too.
I want to piss myself. All right, we'll both take a break real quick, guys. We will be right back. I don't have a break video to play, so you're just gonna see our backgrounds. But keep your eyes open. Maybe something spooky will happen, or you'll see a dildo in someone's room. Yeah,
got like
we'll be right back.
Of them they highlight. They glow in the dark.
We'll be back fast as possible. I promise. Our wieners call into the night. Hi. We're back. That was almost the exact same time. Almost exact same timing right there.
All right. How many of you motherfuckers ate the Twizzlers, the ones that are don't eat the red Twizzlers. They've gone bad.
The beer's gone bad.
Is it the red Twizzlers? I can't remember. I'm on it. I gotta watch Wayne's World 2 tonight. I'm all in a mood for it.
I have no problem with that. I want to watch it too in my bunk at night when I sleep. Nathan Hell says, I thought the kill where Michaels put all the different knives in the old man's back was so haunting. Really made me feel like Myers was like a curious kid.
It was weird. That was true.
Let's use this as a chance to talk about that whole spoiler scene. That was so good, dude. The Teddy from fucking Rescue Me. They're Lori's neighbors, which was a cool idea because she's like, you better not let her hear you talking like that. She'll fuck you up. I was like, for real too. And he'd do it. But I like that couple. I thought they were cool. He's like, you want to drink some water, eat some Cheez-Its and fuck?
That's pretty much what he said. Yeah. I was like, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
So sometimes, look, I just want a fresh brewski, some cheese, and lay with my womans. That's what I want. Hey, womans, I want to get inside your sweet walls.
Well, maybe laugh about that scene as a whole, by the way, other than just what you're talking about, which we'll get to. But dude, when they're flying that drone and it goes in the bathroom,
yeah.
I'm just imagining, you didn't see it, but that drone, Michael fucking threw it back out. So Michael's,
you know why? It hit him in the nuts.
He was in there trying to peroxide his burn wounds and shit because you heard the bottle top fly off. Yeah. I imagine that's what he was doing. And like, you just imagine a drone flying in and Michael's like this, and like something hits him. He's like, what the fuck? And Michael took it and threw it back out. He's like, leave me alone, Mom.
When he opened the door and then Michael starts smashing the lights above the mirror because he's pissed off. It was like a high school kid that's just pissed off that he has to get up early to catch the bus and his dad won't leave him the fuck alone. He's like, are you done in there, son? Are you a girl? Are you putting your mascara on? And he opens the door. And he's like, God damn it, Dad. I'll go to school. What else do you want from me? You want to take my fucking soul? It looked like Michael was in the process of maybe jacking off or something, like doing something, I don't know. And then his dad walked in on him and he was like, that's why I turned the lights off, because I think I'm an ugly, hideous beast. And now I'm going to fucking kill you.
Don't look at me, Dad. I'm emo.
That scene though, when, he, you guys saw a lot of it in the trailer. He kills the lady with the light. I don't know what you call it.
Fluorescent bulb.
A fluorescent bulb. He kills her with that. Great scene. You knew that was coming though. You saw it in the trailer. Again, I don't know if they gave. I mean, that was a really good scene. I liked it, but maybe you could have held back. I don't know. But I don't put together the trailers. But I mean, I might have held back a lot of the. I might have held back 95% of the kills. But either way. But the way that he gets stabbed or she gets stabbed, and then she's like either propped up on that little dresser or she'd crawled herself there, and she's got a perfect angle to watch him. And he's stabbing over and over that guy. You know what he looked? You're exactly right. He looked like a curious kid. He looked like a kid that's trying to figure out that squares don't go in the O holes and the O holes don't go in the squares. It was like one of those puzzle, like you see a little kid like, this and that. But it also, you saw the artistic side of Michael. He Bob Ross the shit out of that because he's like, he did step back like Gordon Ramsay. He's like, that's not good feel. That's not good feel at all. And he was like doing that. Like, it did look good. I mean, it was cool. I mean, it was a really cool scene because you don't normally see that side of Michael.
Yeah, and again, like for all the stuff that we talk about, some of the bad dialogue and stuff, this movie had some of my favorite Myers moments of all time in it, and that was one of them because as funny as it was, and there's two reasons here. I actually have a lot to dive into, but like one of my favorite scenes in Rob Zombie's both of his movies is when he kills Dee Wallace because it's actually haunting. It's sad. You liked her. She's this sweet older lady, and she's crying for her life, and it's just mean, and it scares you. It freaks you out because it's so fucked up. This scene had that same feel to it because she was really scared. He kills her. She's still alive, and she has to watch him. And the guy's sitting there, and he's bleeding the fuck out. And that was awesome job by Chris Nelson and team. He's like, yelling, and he pulls him back off all that blood on the floor. You hear it. You don't see it. You just hear fucking banging happening, and you see her watching it through her eyes. And that dark John Carpenter score comes in, was like, or whatever. And it was really haunting. And it was really fucked up. And you really felt that. It wasn't just an empty kill. But when he puts him on that table, it's so fucking funny, dude. Because if you watch Michael's hands, I loved what he did. I was laughing my ass off in the theater, as dark as it was, because he stabs him and he turns around to the knife and he literally does this with his hands. He goes, and he grabs another, he goes, and then he turns around again. He goes, and he's standing like he's on a surfboard. He's like,
it kind of looks like it kind of looks like that barber. If you guys have ever seen that joke, or it's a meme or a video on YouTube where the barber like smacks that guy in the head. He's like doing a little thing to his head. He goes like he's like doing like a really fancy ass. He's like, And he starts back. Yeah, it was kind of like that. But yeah, Mike and I didn't watch it together, but I knew when I saw that scene, I was laughing. I was like, I know he's laughing. I know that he's laughing because there's no way that you can't laugh about that. But yeah, I understand it was supposed to be a very scary moment. I mean, and the fact that you put yourself in her position, she's completely helpless at this point. He stabbed her in the jugular. She's dying. And then the last images that she's seeing is this fucking crazy ass psychopath with dirty panties putting knives in her husband's back and like looking at it. You know what it kind of reminded me of? It almost kind of looked like the Jeepers Creature monster, and the way that he almost kind of like he likes to take an artistic spin on his bodies. Yeah. And again, like you always see Michael putting them in unique positions, but you never really see the process of him doing that. And he was setting it up. Like he's like, man, this Halloween, I'm gonna make it look good this year. Like, I got some good decorations. I got it at Target, real cheap. And it just looked like that. But it was interesting. It's an interesting side that you don't see to Michael. And you never see it. You never to this. I don't think you've ever seen it.
You've never seen it with Jason.
Yeah. Well, you never. I mean, they all do it differently, but you've never seen it.
Right. And that's one of Michael's calling cards, is that he's an artist. And we made a whole video about that. We did like Michael Myers as like Bob Ross and talked about the scenes that he paints with his dead bodies. And they do that here. But what was really cool about this, and again, one of my favorite scenes ever of Michael, not just because it was cool and it was also sort of funny, where he was like,
David Blaine magic.
Yeah. Let's see what's going on here. But it was amazing that they know enough about Michael Myers, Blumhouse and the producers know enough about him that's something about him that he does that. And they let us have a little peek in at him doing it just one time. They showed us, and through her eyes, they showed us him actually putting one of his art pieces together. And I think that little hand thing he did with James Jude Courtney was fucking genius. That scene was awesome.
Yeah, I would love to, if James Jude would ever come on the show, if that was improv'd out, because I mean, it almost seemed like it was a little extra crispy on my chicken tonight that he did. But yeah, by the way, JT Customs,
saucy tackle.
You are correct. I did see, and we noticed that Ben Tramer was mentioned. Ben Tramer was mentioned because Hawkins said that he wanted to ask out Lori, but he knew she was into Ben Tramer, and she's like, "Shut up, go back to your pain meds." But that's the kind of fan service I like. I like those little name drops, like from the original movie, that everybody would know if you're a super fan of it. Those are nice. They're not trying too hard to put the fan service in. It's just there. It's a nice little touch.
Yeah, it was. And I like that they had a relationship in the past too. That didn't bother me at all. But what did bother me was I was confused the first time I watched it, because when they were explaining, I thought that this happened later in their lives together. I thought when they were older, because they're both kind of lonely, and he was like, I knew that you couldn't handle it. But when he said Ben Tramer, I was like, wait, what the fuck? Ben, that was way back when. And I didn't realize that he was talking about when they were younger. So it was a little bit confusing. But
so Anthony Stamps, thank you so much. He says, I went to the screening at my theater dressed as Michael, and the ticket handler actually called me Jason. Well, let me tell you something, Anthony. God. Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Did they
work
when
you're
for
working that
Weekly?
Really shitty shift, and you've been smelling buttery popcorn all day, and you go in the back a little bit for a little stiff sniff of the good juice, you might come back and be confused. I think that dude that interviewed Jamie Lee Curtis was on the good stuff before. I don't know. Look, and again, it's so strange to me. And maybe it's because we're involved, and all you guys that are here. And again, thank you guys so much for sticking out with us. That we're all obsessed and love the horror franchises to almost not in a healthy level, but like in a lot of ways, like people that love Star Wars or Star Trek or anything like that, they become very invested in these characters and stuff. But even if you're not, like, those masks, like the Jason mask and the Michael Myers mask, are so different.
Yeah.
Like, even if you were a normal vanilla fan, you're like, oh yeah, one of them obviously plays for a hockey team and got pissed when he got cut, and the other one's a super fan of William Shatner. They look so different, but the fact that the Jason confusion always gets me. I was like, they're so. I mean, they, even if you didn't know the movies, they ran together for you because you didn't really care about the slasher flicks or the horror element to it. They look so different. Yeah. Like, to me, Jason Voorhees is iconic in a lot of ways as Michael Myers, and they have their own distinct looks. So how you get those confused, I think you're putting some booger sugar up your nose.
Yeah, and you can't blame the ticket holder for it. Who you can blame for it is the guy that's literally interviewing Jamie Lee Curtis, Entertainment Tonight or whatever, who's so
bad. He fucked up again recently. I think he did something. Yeah, I think he did something else. I don't know what it was, but it was something other awful.
Mike Productions, thanks, man. He says, last one, then I got to head off. In the unmasked scene, Michael has a bullet wound in his cheek and a burn on the left side of his face and on the mask.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, he did. I remember that. Yeah.
And it's hard to gather all that because I saw some people complaining in the flashback scene, which we still are going to get to, that some people said he didn't have the 6 bullet holes in his chest. So like, did they retroactive the thing that he actually shot him 6 times? I don't think
Well,
they
did
did because they showed that in the original Halloween. So
well, no, I don't think. No, they couldn't have, because what the whole thing that had transpired up to that point when they were in the top of the stairs and Michael came out like a leopard and grabbed that fucking guy and it's like, kill your partner, bitch. Sometimes you got to shoot the hostage like in Speed. That before that, they'd already mentioned that Loomis had shot him and he'd fallen over so all that had already transpired. Maybe it was just because and you know, it could very well be a production mistake. I don't know. Or maybe we just didn't see it as fans, that you know, he didn't have the squibs on him to show, like, or the blood on the I mean, because they already mentioned that Loomis had shot him, or I think it was mentioned or something like that, that he was shot over a balcony and he's on the run or something to that effect.
And it's canon, like we watched it happen, so it's strange. But yeah, that's eagle-eyed of you to see that, man. And that's what's great about Halloween, dude, is that people notice these kind of things and they care. Ben Carb 499. That's not your name, sorry.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Ben.
Thanks, Ben. He says loved Halloween Kills, but didn't like Deputy Hawkins' storyline of him killing his partner. Let's again use
that. But that makes sense. I mean, you know, I think that is it makes sense with the development of his character in Halloween Kills, because obviously he feels responsible that Michael could have stopped him before all of this continued. And because of his nerves and because he was not a rookie cop, but I guess a new cop, and he didn't know really how to handle a situation like this. First off, what I would have done, I mean, I know it's, yeah, I get what you're saying, but what I would have done is I would have tried to do a RoboCop thing and shoot between his legs and hit Michael right in the dick. If I shot him in the dick through the guy's pants and hit him perfect, I don't know, but yeah, I get what you're saying, but I don't know. I think that the reason why that happened is it shows Hawkins, he's carried this with him, and in a way is almost as crazy as Laurie is, because he's had to carry this the entire time and he's had to deal with this, and he's a law enforcement officer. So now it's even worse because he has a vow to uphold the peace and do and be responsible and turn off the camera. But yeah, I definitely feel like you know, some people didn't like it, but I thought it was pretty well done. I think they handled that pretty well.
Well, as I say, let's use this as a jumping point to talk about the entire flashback sequence as a whole. Because as we said, we're gonna let you guys dictate the chat, like how we talk about what we talk about. But the entire flashback scene. So I didn't love Thomas Mann in that role. I thought it was a little. He just seemed a little bit off.
Is that young Hawkins?
Yeah, that's the
he
guy.
Looked familiar as fuck. What's he been in? Because I've seen him before. I've seen him.
I'm not 100% sure, but I've seen him before too. I thought the exact same thing.
Yeah.
He was in Project X. Project X is where we know him from. He's the main kid in that in Project X. But you know, I don't know, like the flashback scene as a whole, like I've said it before, it's a 10 out of 10. The movie was an 8 out of 10 for me. The flashback scene was a 10 out of 10. It was something I wasn't excited about going into the movie. I was like, okay, it's a flashback scene, it's whatever. I'm looking more forward to continuing this storyline. But sitting in the theater, and the flashback sequence is the number one reason why I tell people I would see this movie in theaters, because I've watched it on both. And when you see it on the big screen and they go into Haddonfield and they change the cinematography and you're looking at the Myers house, everything looks different, everything feels different. And God damn it, by God, when Michael pops out and he grabs him, shoves him up against the wall, I got fucking scared. Like, I was fucking scared for the first time in so long on a Halloween movie. I could not believe how they created that essence. It was so amazing, but I did not like, just like you didn't. I thought, did we really need it? It was one of those like extra, like the fact that he shot him in the throat. Did we really need it? Because when Hawkins was telling his story in 2018 and he was like, I could have stopped them, we kind of imagined in our own heads that like he apprehended him and he could have killed him, but he didn't for whatever reason. And I feel like that's a lot simpler of a story than going through the whole, like, give me your gun, don't let anybody see you. Sometimes people don't.
Well, that, yeah, I didn't like the explanation of the cover. I didn't actually mind the actual killing, you know, that he fucked up and that he was scared. And it showed a human side to a very stressful situation, which I think could happen to anybody.
Yeah.
And I was like that.
And I like the guy who died though, too.
But I was like, you know what happened? That was an accident, but that was the most accurate shot you fucking had.
Yeah.
Because every other fucking shot, and I think someone mentioned, I think Vanessa said it was like stormtrooper shooting.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a very bad, terrible shot, and you killed your partner. And I feel like also it was almost exploring in some way or another PTSD, you know, and in this fact, like I said, that he has to struggle with this every day, and he's not, you know, he's not in a position to be like Lori. He can't just go out and build a survival cabin and deal with it. And I think it was a smart way to introduce a new character that's not from the original movie and put him in an integral part of the movie and make it sense. I mean, I feel like personally, I feel like if you're going to introduce a new character that was there in 1978, they did a good job of doing it.
And
they put him in a very integral part of the movie, and it was I mean, in my opinion, it was well done. But by the way, the flashback scenes, I loved them. But I think it looked exactly the same, and it was good. It was just, it looked exactly the way it should have looked, but with updated lighting, and it just looked clearer and cleaner, and it looked, I don't know, but it kept the original feel of what was so special about that lighting and that John Carpenter effect from 1978, but they just made it a little bit more today. like Joker, he's like, let's make you more today. But it's still the same, and it looked good. But and God, I can't talk enough about how good Michael looked. And that scene when he comes out out of left, he comes out from the right side of the screen and he grabs him, dude. It was very much similar. And I don't know, I'm sure it wasn't an homage, but it very much similar. And when he came out and he grabbed him and he was like struggling with him, it reminded me of the way that leopard-like quickness he came out. It reminded me of when Lori confronted him upstairs and he comes out of the bedroom and he kind of grabs her real quick. It was the same fucking thing. It was awesome.
He was
I'm sorry, not Lori, Bob.
Oh yeah.
Downstairs in the pantry, and he just comes out real quick and he grabs him and picks. That's exactly what it reminded me of.
Yeah, one of the best kills of the franchise too. And that, dude, I cannot put into words how much I love the scene where Michael pops out of that room and grabs him and starts slamming him up against the wall. And again, I want to say that I think that you're right. I think that they shouldn't have done the officer accidentally killing the other officer scene because it's derivative. And they could have explained Hawkins' guilt a lot easier. Like, they literally could have gone away from that scene completely and had the scene where Loomis is about to shoot him, and Hawkins, just being a good guy, was like, no, I can't watch you kill another man. But now he has the guilt that because he stopped him, he's killed all these other people. But then I think about it, I'm like, you know what happens if they do that, though? We don't get the scene where Michael comes out and does that. We don't get to see him in action. The only other way you could have done that is, I guess, if Michael came out and attacked Hawkins and Hawkins survived it, and then Loomis shoots at Michael again, and Michael escapes, and then Michael goes outside and the cops are there.
I mean, you could add Loomis, the one that shot that fucking cop. Maybe like, he was in the way. I mean, what am I? I'm trying to kill that asshole, and he was in the way. But honest to God, I also, and look, and the thing about Hawkins is, and I know that again, I could see the chat and people are a little divisive about it, and that's fine. The thing about Hawkins, though, is that you see Will Patton, who is an amazing actor, and he's, and in this movie and in 2018, he was playing a very grizzled, well-seasoned police sheriff, and he's kind of got it together, and he knows what's going on. When they flash back to those scenes, and you got this young, kind of goofy-ass kid that's Hawkins, the thing about that is, I think they're portraying him perfectly. I think that, I mean, what would you do? I mean, this guy just killed 3 people. They're exactly who you're looking for. You're kind of new to the force. I mean, yes, of course he becomes a badass, but in that moment, you'd be scared shitless. I mean, if you're not dropping at least a deuce in your pants, I don't know what you're doing, because you would have at least three little dingleberries hanging out your asshole at that point, because it would be a scary moment. I think it was realistic in the fact that you could fuck. I mean, by the way,
I think it was realistic.
By the way, that happens. I mean, that's not like friendly fire happens a lot. And it's usually because in those extreme situations, sometimes people freeze because you're human. I mean, you're fucking scared.
Speed didn't come out yet, so he didn't know to shoot Harry in the leg.
Yeah, he wasn't grizzled. He wasn't experienced. I mean, he literally was probably at the prom like a year ago.
And I actually don't think, I think it's funny. I get people's jokes about it, but I actually don't think it's a negative mark on the movie. I don't think it's stupid at all that when he leans over the banister, he shoots at Michael 3 times and misses him. Because after what he had just gone through, and he's already fucking shaken up, and he just killed his friend. Like, he's fucking, what the fuck is going on right here?
I'd have thrown it at him at that point. I'd throwing the fucking gun and try to knock him out. Like,
Yeah,
because that's gonna hurt if it hits the back of his head. But yeah,
but I thought that scene was well acted. The guy who died, I thought he was really good. I really enjoyed that character. The only thing I didn't like about that scene, as much as I give the flashbacks to 10, is that he walks up and he sees Michael's fucking boot prints. He sees Michael's boot prints and he still just goes, and they heard him upstairs. They knew he was fucking there, but instead of looking anywhere, he just goes, Haddonfield, the town where nothing ever, like it was not smart of him to do that at all.
That was probably just really, I don't know what they were going for there, but it's like, do you think that Chuck Norris walked back here? Like, you should be a little bit more concerned. Those are some big ass heavy prints.
Yeah, I love that they used only the original music, by the way. Man, when he looks down and sees those blueprints and you hear that original John Carpenter score go, bling, I was like, oh, God.
Dude, the flat, man. You know, like, again, accompanying the flashback, well shot, amazingly shot. Whether or not you agree with how they handled the Hawkins character, I get that. But I think everybody generally will agree that it looked amazing. And especially the scene where Lonnie is laying down, he falls over on the sidewalk, and you see Michael walking towards him. It looks so fucking incredible. And not only that, they take you back on this little adventure with the original John Carpenter score, which just makes it even better. I'm like, oh my God, I didn't even have to buy a DeLorean for this. I feel blessed.
Yeah,
but
special, man. Special.
The flashback scenes for that reason alone, because again, they were handled with care. They were handled with respect, and they weren't trying to. Again, I think it looked exactly the same, but just with better lighting. It looked like better lighting, updated, updated like 4K. It looked good, and it looked like it looked so good. I think it almost looked like they just shot an extra scene in 1978. Yeah, like it looked that good. It looked like the original John Carpenter thing.
It made me want to see someone do a sequel.
And I think that we talked about that. My brother Mike and I in a group message was like, "What would you guys think about like?" Or I don't know if you brought it up or somebody did, but if they did an entire movie set in the late 70s or early 80s in the style they did in those flashbacks, and it was an entire movie, maybe showing like an untold story of Michael or something, I think it would be amazing if they did it in that kind of respect.
Before this, I'd have said no. After this, I'd said, fuck yeah. That's what I thought while watching. I went, oh my God, I want the whole movie to be this. And I had no idea I wanted it, but it's so good. And Michael looks so good. And let's put out one more thing I want to say about the flashback sequences, man, is that Aaron Armstrong, the guy who plays the Shape, he only has a couple minutes, like barely, of screen time. But that guy may move closer to Nick Castle's original Shape better than even James Jude Courtney, better than anybody we've ever seen, dude. The liquidity of his fucking movements when he's turning that corner and he's like, or when he pops out and chokes the guy and slams him against the wall.
It's amazing.
Dude, I was blown the fuck away by that guy's performance as Michael. Yeah. It was Nick Castle, like just literally just repeated. I mean, I've never seen anything like it in my life.
Yeah, man. Look, and who knows what the future is going to be after Halloween ends. Aaron could be a guy they're lining up. He could be a guy they're lining up. And again, I'll tell you what, guys, listen, after Halloween ends, if they do a couple of flashbacks movies where they're doing like, again, a perfect way to keep the fans happy and not kind of go off to the reservation, they could do untold stories of something was happening with Michael that we never got to see, and use it in like an early 80s, late 70s kind of stylized filming, almost like a Grindhouse kind of film, dude. And I mean, I think that it just really was one of the, it was handled so well. And again, I think that the reason why we both loved it so much is, and I think that a lot of people will agree, is because you could tell that the filmmakers really were paying attention to what John Carpenter did, and they replicated it and just updated it so magnificently. They were magnifical.
Yeah. And then the last thing that we have to talk about in regards to that is Loomis coming out.
Hey, by the way, Chris Nelson's in this fucking place.
Is he in here? You son of a
Chris
bitch.
Nelson, because that's how I think.
Come on the show, Chris. Come talk to us. You coward.
Hey, Chris Nelson says right. He says, thanks, guys. The movie isn't for everyone, but just keep it cool. That's a good guy right there, man. I love what he said right there.
I'm kidding, by the way, about calling you a coward. I'm sorry, and I'm having a panic attack right now. I love you.
We're going to talk to Chris Nelson soon.
I want to play Yahtzee with you very soon. And that's not a sexual innuendo.
He says, okay.
God, Chris, that poor bastard probably wishes he never talked to
No,
us
man,
ever.
dude, I gotta be honest, Chris, man. You rocked the shit out of the effects on that. Holy fuck, man.
I'm not just saying this. I'm literally not just saying this. I swear to you, I'm not saying this because he's in the chat. I'm not saying this because he's been so cool to us over the past couple of years. But Chris Nelson's literally the MVP of fucking Halloween Kills. The only thing, only thing about this movie that has not been divisive for people, and he probably clicked off because he doesn't like hear nice things said about it.
I would.
But the only thing that has not been divisive on this movie that everybody has agreed on is that the gore looks fucking awesome. The deaths look awesome. Michael looks awesome. All the things that you and your creative team were responsible for are beloved by just about everybody, and it's a beautiful fucking thing.
It really is. And we said this earlier, Chris. I know you were busy doing other things than watching two assholes on YouTube talk about your movie that you were a part of. But I said, man, for sure, I think that the effects that you did were so amazing and they were so well done and so well placed that you should get a fucking award, or it should be nominated for an award for sure, man. And I hope you get one because you deserve another Academy Award, Sir Christopher Nelson.
God damn
show.
Right.
And Steven, I know that you said give you $20 after I said that, but I'm just gonna do it for free.
That was on the house.
Yeah, that's on the house, dog.
Steven, Las Vegas 1990. I'm just assuming it's Las Vegas. Says lady with the iron in the mob. We talked about that a little bit ago. Yeah, it cracked me the fuck up. Funny. You gotta look at that still. There's this lady like, I'll fucking burn you. It's not plugged in.
Hey man, an iron to the face would hurt. And it would burn too.
She was ready to go. Those people out there with their pajama pants on, goddamn baseball bats, whatever you can use.
Hey, thanks for giving me one that I can't fucking pronounce, but okay. I'm just gonna say it because Maximus Carter.
I forgot the part where that was my problem.
Yeah, well, take your shit back to Tobey Maguireville because no one wants you here, Tom Holland said. K Maximus Connor says, thank you so much, by the way. He says, hey, Mike and Jay, been a fan since I started high school way back when. Don't you ever fucking say that again. When I started high school way back when, love you guys like crazy uncles. Keep up the good work and talking about goddamn Michael. By the way, I just want to know. I just want you to say like everything you said was very sweet, and we very much appreciate what you just said. But you also made us feel like old tools that we are still rusting away in a shed somewhere. And you're like, oh yeah, you're like the crazy uncles that I can't bring my friends around, but I like hanging out with you during the summer. But we appreciate it, man. Thank you so much.
I read at a sophomore level. Cajun Horror Talk says Michael uses the Velociraptor tactics from Jurassic Park: distraction and attack from the side. LOL. The Velociraptor just reminds me of when he's doing that thing. I can't tell you. I love this so fucking much, dude. I know I've talked about it 1,000 times, but when he's stabbing that dude, he's picking his knife. He's like, yeah, yeah.
He's like a jazz musician.
Yeah, it's like just creating his fucking masterpiece, man. I love it.
I wish one guy had been in a cowboy hat and turned around. I was like, clever boy.
Could have been the sheriff.
Go Grand Guru. Thank you. That sounds like a fucking coffee at Starbucks that needs to be invented. Hey, can I get a large Fenty? Go Grand Guru. I heard it's great for my yoga classes and full of caffeine. I'll bet I'll shit my pants.
You're the master.
I watched it 6 times. Pun intended, and I did. Hawkins' storyline took time away. I wanted depth of characters I didn't feel when I wanted to feel it. That's true. I mean, we talked about, we did mention, I personally was not offended by the Hawkins. They were just trying to flesh that character out because it was a new character they were trying to bring into the franchise. And I get that because you got to give them a little bit more time to flesh out those characters because we already know all these other characters. I feel like what happened is, and I get what you're saying, I wanted depth of characters I didn't feel. I think you have an hour and 45-minute movie. You only have so much time to really flesh out certain characters. I mean, you just can't do them all. And they had a lot of characters in this. But I think, maybe they could have not had certain characters in or whatever. But I still feel like you got the bang for your buck because it was cool to see them. I mean, it was cool to, that they were paying that much attention. Like, again, Brackett and all that, Tommy and Lindsay.
Yeah, I think that honestly, like Sheriff Hawkins, when I saw Will Patton was going to be in Halloween 2018, I was really fucking pumped. I thought he's the perfect kind of guy for a Halloween franchise
So
movie,
good.
man. Like
Yeah.
the perfect kind of just undersung dude. And like when he died, I was fucking pissed. When he died, I was really fucking pissed. That's why I was so happy to find out he was coming back. But the young thing, I think that the accidental shooting thing could have taken a quicker turn somewhere else. But everything else with Hawkins' character, I absolutely love. Like even his lines in the hospital bed when he's trying to, he goes, you know, it's just little like really seasoned actor shit. Like when he goes to talk to Lori and he's like, because his fucking throat's fucked up, right? So you know, it's like little things that he does that some actors might not think to do. I cherish every single second of screen time Will Patton himself had
really.
On screen. There's no doubt about that. But
Well,
I do get what you're saying.
Will Patton is one of those guys, man. To me, I mean, when I saw him in fucking Armageddon, like that dude, just I loved him. Like he was to me the emotional anchor in that fucking movie. Like that one scene when he goes up the original April O'Neil, and I can't remember her name, but he was like, and he lives a little like spaceship on our doorstep. He's like, you don't have to tell who it's from, but just give it to him. I fucking cried I almost got teary even like trying to do the line because that shit. And then when he comes back to Earth and she's like, that man's not just an astronaut, he's your daddy. I'm like, oh fuck. But Will Patton is a very powerful, and he's also good in Gone in 60 Seconds. Yeah, I really, and I do like him when he's on screen as Hawkins because he does bring a certain type of understanding and passion and compassion to the role. Also a badassness, which I think that I think he's a great sheriff. I really do. I'm not saying he's Brackett, but I mean he's good. He's really good.
And we also don't know what threads they're setting up for Halloween Ends. So some of the stuff that may have felt derivative, I'm sure is going to come back and ends in some way if the writing's tight. But like, you know, I really hope that he has a powerful arc in Halloween Ends.
Well, I think he will because he pretty much expressed his love for Lori.
Right. It would be nice to see if those characters did survive, which not everyone of us think JLC will survive, but if they did survive, it would be nice to see them ride off in the sunset together. I wouldn't mind that a bit. Andrew Graciosa says, if Tommy didn't die, which character do you think should have taken his place?
Paul Rudd.
Didn't die. No, if he didn't die, which character do you think should take? I'm not sure exactly what you're saying there, but
if Tommy didn't die, which character do you think should okay, well, I'm just gonna go off what you're saying. What character could replace Tommy as a main character that comes in Halloween Ends if Tommy didn't die? Like if you had to pick a character from the franchise that would come back in some way or another.
Yeah, I don't think you need one. I think that the reason Tommy died is because I say it sounds mean, but I think his character served its purpose. Like, I like the idea, I like what we're going for there, but I don't want Ends to go that same route. Like, I think Kills was meant to be about the survivors, and I think that's why a lot of them died. Lindsay Wallace, by the way, is still alive, so we're going to see something with that. There's obviously there's also got to be people for Michael to kill in Ends as well that matter, that are important deaths. But
it would take me a while to remember like I know that Paul Rudd survived at the end of 6 because he saw me in that one. You know what? But you know they don't want to really get involved with that whole Thorn storyline, so you can't have the redhead chick from Halloween 6 come back. Look, you know what? Look, in a perfect world, just to fuck with it. If Josh Hartnett showed up and he was like, so this is what happened to you, Mom, after you decapitated that guy. You went crazy. You didn't die when you said Michael killed you. You were just dreaming and you've been in a weird dude. If Josh Hartnett showed up, it's like Michael Myers is dead. I told you that at the Academy.
I'm going to Yosemite, Mom.
Yeah, that would be the wildest shit. And then they twisted this whole story around that Lori had actually become a different person for a while. Like, I don't know. It would have been crazy, but yeah. Stephen Liv 1990 again. Thank you so much. He's on it tonight. He says, I know you guys want to wait to discuss Ends, but do you think Halloween or trick-or-treating will be banned? You say banned like a band's actually, but I know what you mean. Banned in Haddonfield or beyond. I think a smart way to go, I would have done it now. I would have done and Halloween Kills, but I get what they were doing. Maybe they're setting it up for Halloween Ends. I always thought it would be really interesting that the town itself, Haddonfield itself, has been so scarred and so maimed by this association of Michael that Halloween is no more. But I think they kind of did that though, right? Didn't they say in Halloween Kills that they had to go to a different town or something? Maybe I'm thinking of a different.
That's one of the scripts or something we read for something.
Yeah,
else.
yeah. But I always feel like it would be like the mask is forbidden. Halloween itself is forbidden. It's a lockdown every night. I think that, and then they showed a lot in the town being crazy and mob like. I feel like doing a footloose kind of things, like dancing is outlawed and so is Halloween, motherfucker. No more candy corn would be interesting. But yeah, I think it's going that way, and I think that it should be banned. I mean, I think it makes total sense for it to be completely banned.
They've always touched on that. If you read the Taken Shape books, there's several iterations of Halloween that never happened where they did do that. Like Halloween was banned. They did it in Curse of Michael Myers. Halloween was banned. Or there was at least a group of people that didn't think Halloween should be happening. They've always skirted the idea of Halloween not happening. And I thought it was interesting at the end of this one, Lori says in her voiceover, she says, maybe it's not this year. If they don't stop him tonight, maybe he comes back on some random Halloween night. Yeah. I think the fact that he walks off and is very clearly alive when he they don't stop him unless some weird shit happens there. I think the town has got to be going, okay, Michael Myers is real. Michael Myers is unstoppable.
Obviously,
Michael Myers only wants to kill us, and Michael Myers only pops up on Halloween. So we're definitely not doing fucking Halloween anymore. And also when David Gordon Green says that it's going to take place in the now with the COVID and all that stuff happening, I think that could play into it as well. But again, I just want to say about ends, imagine everybody being stuck at home, not allowed out of their homes, and then Michael just being able to go fucking house to house and have his fucking...
Yeah, but even the setup... Well, I mean, yeah, and I think someone just mentioned that's the setup for the ends. I mean, I think it is. I mean, I think it absolutely is. I think that's what's going to happen. But and it maybe should have happened already. Like, I mean, after they discover, Michael, is out and he's killed all those firefighters. I mean, immediate fucking lockdown, and then call in the state troopers, call in the fucking National Guard, call in the Ghostbusters, call in the Monster Squad. I don't know who the fuck you got, but get them. And it's like, if you don't find him, sure I will. Like, he's out there.
And again, I love the idea that Michael's going to disappear for 4 years and then come back and Halloween ends, as if to either A, he's licking his wounds, but he's an older man at this point, but he's clearly supernatural, but not a super healer, because he's tried to heal himself several times in this movie and he has a bandage on his hand. But I'd love the idea that Michael's going to wait just long enough to where people start to feel safe again. I'm going to wait. 4 years feels right. I'm tired of fucking waiting. People are starting to get over it a little bit now. They're starting to ease back into normal life. Maybe they have a couple Halloween parties. I don't know. Maybe they start to talk about Halloween again.
I think banning it outright, like I said, Footloose. Like, you can't talk about that shit, okay? John Lithgow is going to come down from his preacher mountain and shame you if you talk about Halloween today. I want it to be a complete negating of Halloween. Halloween stops. There's no more celebration of it. And you know what is interesting is, I mean, you could even.
But I would miss the atmosphere of the city. Like
no, I mean, it would still be fall. I mean, it would still be fall. I mean, it would still be a Halloween feel, but it's just not going to have decorated. But it's still there. The thing is, what if you even showcase that the town itself, because of Michael Myers, is like this rotten land? Like, the evil runs inside of Haddonfield. Like, it's just this cancerous tumor, this malignant thing that has grown because of Michael's existence. And maybe if he dies, maybe the town goes back to normal. I don't fucking know. I don't want that to happen, by the way. The only reason why I'm saying that, if they do that kind of shit, there's always going to be another Michael Myers, because I would consider this a Dark Knight trilogy. Halloween 2018, Halloween Kills, Halloween Ends, to me is a Dark Knight trilogy. It just means that they can move on and do something else. But if Michael Myers, even if they killed Michael Myers in Halloween Ends, which would fucking suck, but if they do that, that's their version dying in an alternate reality, Michael. Our version of the real Michael. And I'm not saying this is the real Michael Myers, but you know what I'm saying. Like, there's so many different storylines. So I'm just saying, that'd be interesting.
And it would be interesting for a new story arc. But as far as, I think what we've got here is we've got one movie left. All right. And we want the storylines that we've started to be completed. I don't want them to go anywhere different. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to start a whole new idea and like bring in all these new characters or anything like that. Like, I really want to hone in and focus on what we've created with these two movies and go straight to the fucking point, no faking.
Well, I mean, but here's the thing, though.
Story. Doing anything extra it's too late in the game, and it's going to eat up too much running time when we get to ends.
Yeah, and I hope that Vanilla Ice shows up too at the end. I mean, because why don't you want Rob Van Winkle in your show? But I mean, at the same time, I think it like this though. I think they've already set it up. The fact is that the entire town is already infected with this fear. They even chase down an innocent man to a point where he has to throw himself out a window to kill himself to get away from him. I think the whole idea of Halloween Kills is to show the town is already infected.
Yeah.
Tommy, Lonnie, they get this mob justice idea, like burn, pitchforks and burning knives, whatever, running to kill the monster. The town is already infected. If you want to go deeper and say the land is infected because of Michael Myers, I think they're already setting it up for that. And even with her, Laurie Strode explaining to Hawkins that every time he kills, he transcends, and that basically Michael is the cause of all this unrest and all this distrust and all this fear that has gripped the town. I think they're already setting it up for that kind of particular end in Halloween Ends. I think that's exactly what they're going to do.
And I see what you're saying. But I think that's one of the controversial things about the movie. I think that's something people were confused about. I think some people are trying to figure out when it comes to the writing of this movie, what exactly they're trying to say. Yeah. And I think that may come from deciding to, like they decided to go a different way with the ends than they originally planned to. So that kind of maybe messed with the natural feel of the storyline. But I think a lot of people were confused. And again, you and I love the movie because we're here for Michael Myers and we're here for a Michael Myers movie. And as far as that goes, they fucking nailed it. But as far as like the storyline and the trilogy goes and like just the standalone movie, I think what people are so upset about is they're trying to, I think it's a little bit confusing exactly what they're trying to say. Are you trying to do the mob mentality thing? Are you trying to say something about that? Are you trying to say the town's infected? It's a little confusing, right? Like,
well, and then I could see that. But I feel like they're
patient thing.
Why I kind of feel like they were pretty much promoting it 100%. I mean, they showed it in the trailer. They showcased it a lot in the movie, which I do think takes away from the movie. I'll tell you what, and I'll be honest, okay? I mean, I like the movie. I gave it a 9 out of 10, but the mob scene for me was not the Cal Ripken hit I was looking for. I felt like it could have been handled differently. I mean, just my opinion. I mean, again, I'm not a filmmaker or whatever, but I mean, I'm talking about as an audience member. Yeah. As an audience member, I was just, I was like, okay, well, and then there was, and again, just the way certain lines were delivered or the way, I don't know, the pacing of it was, it just, I got what they were trying to say and I get it. Because it was very much like a very much Frankenstein moment, because Frankenstein, the village, the town folks get together, the monster's there, burn it down, and you can't reason with them. They're just a mob. George Romero did it in The Night of the Living Dead. That was literally a parable of people just being so blinded by one thing that they rush towards something and don't even think for themselves. They're just part of the mob. So I get what they were going for. And I think they definitely were trying to say that. And it could be for any variety of reason. I just think it was handled kind of not as well as I wished. And but either way, to be honest, I would have probably, I mean, if I wore like goddamn silk underwear every night, silk underwear. If I wore those and I were in charge of a production company, I'd be like, yeah, we're not really going to focus on that today. Like, if I were in charge, I'm like, yeah, I don't think it's going to work, because the truth is you don't have enough time. You don't have enough time in your film to really explore it. Yeah, you don't have enough time to really explore it.
That's what I thought too. I thought, man, I've been waiting for this movie for 2 years. Why am I spending 20 minutes watching this other mental patient? Like, I get what you're trying to say something, but I just don't care right now. I just don't have time for this.
Again, I feel like they had the best intention, and I could see where they were going with it, but I was like, at the end of the day, I got fucking tired, dog.
And the absolute last thing I want to say about that is, are we trying to, was the purpose of this to set up the town's gone crazy thing, or say something about mob mentality or whatever? Or was it the purpose of this movie to bring back the Kylie Richards stuff like that, to show how trauma affects not just one person, but how it affects everybody? They kind of said both. And it was a little bit of both, a little confusing where we're going there. So I think that's where some of the angers come from. But it's like, for me, I got what I wanted. I wanted the fucking Michael to be great, and he was. But
first off, Tyler, you take that damn thing off. And second off, somebody said, that I'm sorry, your name already went up. I don't remember. That was that one. That was and again. I like the guy that played Dr. Loomis. I think he did a good job. But there was one. It was like your dad showing up at a party, and he knows you're a drunk, raging alcoholic because when you hear the car screech up outside the house, he's like, "Did he kill again? Did he kill again?" It was like, "Is he drinking again? God damn, I can't afford another rehab." It just sounded like your dad like showing up like, did you lose the car in the ocean? What are you doing? Like, it was, yeah, but I get what. But by the way, hey, Greg, man, what a sexy individual. What a sexy individual. Like, and I like his profile picture. It's all blown up here. It looks like he looked like he worked for SEAL. I like it. But yeah, he says, can't wait to hang out with you guys again at the Scarefest this weekend. Love y'all's faces. We love you, Greg. Greg is a very sweet individual. He's got soft, wonderful skin. He takes care of himself in the gym.
We're gonna get naked and eat cheese whiz together.
I can't wait to spoon him.
No doubt about it. Dakota Buckner says, are you guys ready for the Jeepers Creepers Reborn trailer that comes out Saturday and also the Saw announcement happening on the 26th? I didn't know anything about the Saw announcement.
I had no idea.
But honestly, there's so much happening that all that's kind of on my, that's kind of in the lunch pail in the back. Like, that will save that for a snack later. I'm still knee deep in this right now, but I didn't know it comes out Saturday.
Reborn?
Yeah, it's the 4th Jeepers Creepers.
So it doesn't have anything to do with. Oh, okay, so that's
so we can actually be excited about it. I think.
Yeah,
as far as
I mean, we could have been excited before, but I mean, whatever. Yeah, the internet. But yeah, I didn't know about the Saul thing either, but that's cool. Chuck Carter sounds like a fake name. You work for Shield, motherfucker. I know you do. He says, Chuck Carter. He's Sharon Carter's cousin. If story arc episodes of Dragon Ball Z has taught me anything, I'd say Halloween Ends is going to be epic. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Some motherfucker is going to become, what's the guy's name? The one that screams and the blonde hair and the lightning comes out.
Goku.
Is that that's Dragon Ball Z, right?
Apple TV. I don't know.
I don't watch Dragon. I'll be honest, and I know. I never. And I remember when it came out, I watched Digimon a little bit, and but I never got into those. But I mean, I know they're amazing. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Michael's gonna fucking scream. He's gonna have blonde hair, and he's gonna whoop that ass. Mm-hmm. And there's gonna be lightning effects and. I feel stupid to talk to you like this because I know that you probably really love Dragon Ball Z and but I'm not trying to disrespect it. I never watched it, so it's hard for me to follow.
We've said for past like 2 years now that we're just certain Halloween Kills is going to rule, and for us it did. Didn't expect it to be this divisive. I really thought everyone was going to love it. So, but for us it did rule. But I'll say this, man. For me, this entire time I've thought Ends is the thing that is going to be. It's the biggest enigma of all. Like, what is that going to be? Yep. They have to stick the landing. They have to tie up everything. They got to walk away from this knowing they can't fix it when it's done. This is our story, and it's so exciting. I'm so fucking jacked to the tits about.
You know what it was? I think we talked about this before. I think I said that the trilogy Halloween Kills was going to be The Empire Strikes Back. It totally was. It ends on a sad note. It ends on total disaster. All the characters that you thought were going to live are dead, just like in Empire Strikes Back. I mean, if you look at Empire Strikes Back, it ends on such a low-level note. Luke lost his hand. Han Solo's kidnapped. They got to go find him.
What is this in? Falling off.
Aaron's fucking dead. He killed Brackett. He killed Tommy. Everything's fucking over. Halloween Ends is going to be Return of the Jedi. It's going to be just like Return of the Jedi. And I know it. I was like, you going to do the trilogy right. You're going to do the trilogy right.
I like that. I really do. I like the way that you put that, and I want to put it in my satchel and play with it.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.
That's right. That's right.
No
Anthony Stamp said, did you notice that in the bar scene when Tommy introduced Lindsay, they showed footage from Halloween 2? Did not notice that.
I didn't. I thought they showed his.
You dirty rat.
You're slick. You're slick.
I did not notice
see you minx. Did they really? I didn't see that. I got to go back and watch it.
I totally missed that shit, man. But so what have we oh shit, what the fuck is going on here? What have we not talked about? I think we've gone
through pretty much so most of it.
And we've got, by the way, Jay and I are meeting up tomorrow. We're going to be doing some interesting videos. We're going to talk about everybody who died and everybody who's left and everybody who's going to be the set pieces for Ends. We're going to be doing videos about all the injuries Michael Myers took in that movie. We're going to be doing videos about some really, really interesting stuff. So if you're not subscribed, make sure that you are subscribed. But Yeah, and by the way, Lindsay Walsh, that is one thing, the car scene, we talked about it a little bit, but she didn't have as big as a part of the movie as I thought, but she did survive. Like
Yeah,
Lindsay
she did.
Walsh
She lived.
survived.
Well, we didn't
she's
really talk about the park scene, but there's
Yeah.
not really much. He looked great, and it was amazingly shot, and it looked really good. I will say though, what was interesting, and I think I'd already mentioned this before, Michael fucking killed a kid again. Like he killed that ass. I mean, I think he decapitated that kid, and I was like, even goddamn, they're gonna show a decapitated kid's head in that mask. Michael's not playing around. Look, I don't care about your kids. I don't care about your women's. I don't care about your men's. I'm gonna kill everything and everyone. Fuck it.
I'm gonna hurt you real bad.
Oh yeah, Vinny C. What a sexual individual he is. Look at his profile picture. You're in enemy territory. Look at that picture with Jason.
Vinny's a good kisser.
Yeah,
What?
he is.
Was that out loud?
His last name is Big Cock. That's why the C comes in. Can't wait to see you guys at Scarefest.
Vinny Cockpick.
Bringing the Atkins picture I got for you, Mike. Hey, that's a really, he's got a really great thing for Mike.
Oh yeah.
I'll be going as Michael. Jay as Loomis can harass me. Lol. Yeah, I will.
It's gonna be cool to hang out with you, dude.
I'll harass the shit. I'll put a finger in your butt to make you run back home. I can't keep you in jail. I'll put a finger in your butt. I'll scare you. You'll be like, what? He's putting a finger in my butt. I gotta go home. That's what I'll do. But yeah, man. That thing, the Atkins picture, man, that was fucking awesome of him. I remember
that was really goddamn cool. And can't wait to hang out with you, man, this weekend. It's gonna be amazing. Taco Splash! I love your name. Taco Splash. That's what happens after Taco Bell. I don't know how you think Nightmare 2 stacks up with Nightmare 1. I think that movie was golden retriever poop emoji. Can you explain why Nightmare 3 was my favorite?
That's a good
Can we explain why Nightmare 3 was
I don't know.
favorite? I can't, because half of Nightmare 3 was a fucking Harry Potter fantasy bullshit movie.
No, Mike doesn't like Nightmare 3. I like Nightmare 3. But
Nightmare 2 is fucking awesome because Freddy's as mean as he's ever goddamn been. And that movie was one of the scariest of the franchise. I think you're a nutbag, Taco.
I'll tell you why Nightmare 3 was. I'll tell you why Nightmare 3 was your favorite. Maybe it was because Wes Craven worked on the script, and then also maybe it was because 2 words, Lawrence Fishburne was in it, and he looked good as fuck. He looked pre-Morpheus. He looked like he knew kung fu, master kung fu. I liked Nightmare 3, and to me, I think Nightmare 3 also had I get it though. I remember when I was a kid, I would skip Nightmare 2 and rent Nightmare 3. I like the fantasy aspect of it, but I also like the fact that it was wrapping the story up of Nancy, because Nancy was finally, that was it. She had the final moment with Freddy, and Freddy was dead forever. And that was cool. And I like the Dream Warriors aspect because you got to explore the dreams with their powers. I like that stuff. But I will say, Nightmare 2, dog shit though? I don't think so, man. I think Nightmare 2 is like amazing. I really think, and to me, it's the best makeup they've ever done on Freddy Krueger. He looks like a witch. And they even said that. They tried to make him look like a witch, and they had different contacts. He's got great lines. He's nastier. I like Nightmare 2. I'll be honest, I don't like it as much as the first one, but I would not argue with anybody like, hey, I like Nightmare 2 better than 1, because they are so different movies. They're such different movies. But yeah,
he was fucking scary as shit in that movie, man. What am I doing? Where am I going? What's going on here? Nike Swoosh says the H2 footage was of Annie on the stretcher. Oh, that makes sense though. But that is a little tiny pull in, because obviously Brackett. And by the way, in the original ending that was played for test screenings, Brackett, when he gets killed by Michael, originally he starts to say this was for Annie before Michael takes him out. So that was interesting too. And then you could also say, what's Marion talking about when she says this is for Loomis if none of those other movies exist? But she also became really annoying when they were leaving the bar, and like, nothing against her as an actress or whatever, but when she's like, evil dies tonight, I'm like, oh my god, Mom, go home. I haven't even scored a basket yet. I like the lady.
It's like, yes, buddy, you hit 2 points. I'm like, Mom, I'm going out to beat the shit out of a psychopath with a baseball bat, and you're like, evil dies tonight. Don't do that.
Dude, when Tommy ran out, and that was just, and this is the only thing, like, as much as Jay and I both love the movie, the only thing that really bugs me about it is like these tiny little edits would have taken so many people's complaints away from it. And I'm rooting for the movie so hard that, like, when I see something that's kind of cringy like that, I go, fuck, god damn it, I wish you guys were just taking it out, because I'm rooting for it so hard. But like, when Tommy goes to, before he even runs out of the bar, Marion's like, he's like, I'm gonna go. Michael's outside. Like, oh my god, Michael Myers is fucking outside.
Yeah.
This is
It's
the
like your
guy
mom.
we're
It's like
all
your mom
talking
cheering
about.
you on.
And he goes and he grabs the bat, and then she's like, "Hey, Mama, evil dies tonight." I was like, that was weird.
How
And
do
then,
you? Well, no, go ahead.
and then when Tommy's in the hospital, it's going good. His whole thing's going good. I didn't like the whole, I'm going to take your mask off. I'm going to swing old Luxembourg here. And I didn't like that. But Tommy was still doing pretty good. I liked it. But then when he goes to run out of the hospital when everything's going on, he's like jumping over a pew. He's like, by the way, evil dies tonight. Yeah. And I was like, that was so out of place, man. And the lady, the crazy old lady in the hospital she's like, the first time someone said it, it's like she'd been waiting for someone to say that her entire life. They're like, and by the way, evil dies tonight. That old lady she goes, yeah, evil dies tonight. Woo! She's like, evil dies tonight. It was so weird and out of
place. I saw
place.
Marion Chambers when that's the one thing I remember that whole fucking scene, because it goes nowhere, really. I mean, it's just a drunk guy driving a car. I don't know. But when she's like, evil dies tonight, it reminded me of that drunk chick from Varsity Blues. She's like, come on, Mox. You can do it. When they slow the fuck down, it's like, you can do it. Throw that fucking pig skin. That whole thing, that whole fucking bar scene looked like it took place in Tennessee. It looked like it took place at
Which I like the start of the bar scene because it set up the
the start of it was great, but at the end, these motherfuckers have been doing fireballs for like 3 hours, and they are all gauged up. They are ready to go out and fuck Michael Myers up, one of the biggest known serial killers of all time that's super strong or whatever. They're going to go take a baseball bat that they kiss, and they're like, I'm going to fuck him up. And he's just going to sit in the car. By the way, that wasn't a dead giveaway, and listen to like fucking Alan Jackson or whatever the fuck he was listening to.
Were you scared? Like, is Michael really changing the station?
No, I knew it wasn't him. I was like, yeah, that's not him. But I didn't know it was like the crazy guy from the, but whatever. I just thought it was somebody in shock. I actually thought they were going to show a survivor that was just in shock, not like a mental escape asylum guy. I thought it was going to be like an actual lady or a guy that had got away from Michael. I don't know. But
somebody else.
Dirk Hall. Thank you so much, Dirk Hall. He's a man and he likes his name. Dirk. Dirk sounds like a detective that just came out of retirement and he's ready to fucking finish the job that you
badass name.
Losers couldn't do. I love Dirk, man. Dirk Hall. I feel like there's a scene missing because they rushed to the ER. Why?
I thought they actually tied that together really well, dude, because he was like, they were like, here's to Lori, or like, where is she right now? And then boom, like back on the truck. I thought that was really good, actually. I thought they did that good.
I mean, I don't know. I didn't know if it was rushed or not. I mean, maybe I get maybe the pacing might have been a little off. I don't think there was a scene missing. It just might have been the pacing was a little off for you.
There was some wild editing going through the whole movie for sure. Yult 90 says, what if they introduced that one of Michael's parents was part of the cult of Thorn and the cursed Michael to be Haddonfield's boogeyman? Look, I love those crazy ideas.
Man.
I love where you're coming from. I have so many fucking ideas for us diving back into the middle of the franchise and going back to the Cult of Thorn. I'm like, I got like these ideas, man. I do. For this, God no, not for this trilogy. Stay away from it. Keep it linear. But yes, dude, there's so many cool ideas that go back.
Let me tell you something. 90. I mean, I would assume you look like your profile picture. I like it. It kind of scares me, but at the same time, like you got a Mass Effect 2 shirt on, and you look like you're from Saints Row, and I appreciate that. It's very badass of you. But I think that the Cult of Thorn, like if you had nowhere to go, you could introduce it. But I think a lot of people thought in Halloween Kills they were going to drop a little hint, or just like a little tidbit nod to the cult, but they didn't. But yeah, man, I don't know. I don't really think there's not a need for it. But then again, maybe there is, because they showed the supernatural side of him. It would be very easy for them to do it in Halloween Ends. So we don't fucking know. I mean, they can borrow a lot from scripts that have come before. We talk about the regeneration process. The Cult of Thorn is an easy thing to bridge not only old fans but new fans together. So who knows? We'll see.
Maybe just a little butt touch towards it. I like that. Gary Callis says since Hawkins loves Lori, if she dies, he should live on so he can be the next Loomis. Hell bent on living his life chasing Michael in the sequels. Now they're not going to do any sequels to this movie, but goddamn, Will Patton would be a pretty fucking good Loomis.
I would love. I mean, if Will Patton decided to put on the suspenders and the beige breeches of Dr. Loomis, I'd be like all for it. I would love it. I don't think that Will Patton really wants to do that. Donald Pleasance was a unique individual that really loved the franchise, and he really got it. Like, I mean, he would, I think it's been mentioned, he said he would come back for Halloween 20. I don't think Will Patton's that guy. Like, I mean, I think that he would do it for a little, like, he'd probably do it for a movie, and then he'd be like, yeah, I'm not going to keep doing this because I got other things to do. But yeah, it would be interesting. It'd be interesting. I definitely think that the guy they used was pretty good. And what I always feel like it would be really interesting to do is go back and do an actual series with Dr. Loomis.
God, I would love
I
it.
think a Dr. Loomis series on HBO Max or Netflix or something would fucking, pardon the pun, kill the box office. I think it would be really good. I think people would love it.
Fucking A, man. Daniel Quall says, just rewatched. Did anyone else notice when Karen approaches the window in Judith's room, you can see what looks like a human-shaped figure hiding hunched down next to the bed? I did not see that, Daniel Qualls, but that's why you're an eagle-eyed son of a bitch.
No, that was just the director saying, I wonder if Michael's feet are going to be seen on camera.
It's like those Game of Thrones scenes where they left a fucking Starbucks in there.
Like to this day, it's the most atrocious disrespect ever. If you go and watch the Game of Thrones last season, there's a fucking Aquafina in every goddamn scene. Like, it's like the dragons just discovered the fucking fact that they can get bottled waters from the 7-Eleven, and they're just bringing it and hanging out. It said, by the way, Stephen Lev, 1990. Thank you so much again. Wow, what a dude. He says, getting off for the night, guys. Signed up to be a Patreon. Have a great night, everyone. As a Ghostbuster profile pic. Yes, I see. Remember, we're ready to believe you. Unless we go against Michael, forget that shit. Pretty much, yes. You'll start like, let's show this prehistoric bitch how we do things downtown. But then you'll say, fuck this quickly. Because, you're not going to use positronic colliders to incinerate that guy. But yeah, I didn't even notice your profile pic, man. Holy shit, that's great. But yeah,
dude, I love you, and I apologize because this is very rude of me. There's a TV on over there, and you know what I just fucking saw?
What?
And I'll respond to Steven's comment because I didn't even get to see it, dude. I just saw something amazing. Burger King.
You saw an Extends commercial for your wiener.
God, I wish. Burger King is releasing ghost pepper nuggets for $1.49.
I don't want that.
For 8 nuggy nugs.
I don't want that.
Ghost pepper Burger King nuggets. Oh my God. Gotta try those. Sorry, can you sign up for the Patreon? Thank you, Steven. Appreciate that.
Yeah,
I just want to
let you. But no, we'll go back to your original comment. The ghost, that sounds like shit.
No,
because ghost peppers are hot as fuck. It's hot as fuck.
Think about that for a little while. Take that in for a second.
No, I'm listening to you, and I'm going to react to it immediately.
Comment, okay?
Because you were talking about the TV when I read the comment.
I know. I'm sorry. All right. I apologized already. What do you want from me? Huh? What do you want from me?
I want you to take those ghost peppers and put them up your butthole. Put them up your butthole. When you do the first fucking reaction to them, put them up your butthole. Put it on Instagram. I want to see where the fucking likes go.
Steve, hey, I get excited about fast food, dick. But yeah, no, thank you so much, Steven. That's fucking awesome, man. I actually did.
Good time.
I did.
Did you notice this? Did you see his profile? That's a great. He's got the whole fucking like stream going, and I didn't even notice it. That looks good as fuck.
Fucking strong. That's a strong goddamn profile pic. Cajun Horror Talk says, whose idea was to put the Real Housewife, the senior citizen, and the two newest characters in the same car to chase Michael, like car full of Star Trek red shirts? I think
that's true, man. I didn't even think about that. That's true.
We're all adults and we all think we could be more powerful than we actually are. That car was fucked from the get. Yeah, maybe. But that girl had a fucking cannon. I mean, well, the guy had it and they gave it to his wife.
They should have thrown ghost pepper fucking chicken nuggets at their face.
Maybe that would have stopped Michael.
So that would have stopped him in his tracks.
You can't be scared, by the way, of ghost pepper fucking nuggets.
No, I won't do it. I think, no, because the reality of it is the best sandwich and the best hot thing they ever came out with ever, besides fucking Megan Fox, I would say the jalapeno thick burger from Hardee's is still
absolutely
the reigning champion. The reigning champion. I have never had anything ghost pepper related.
It's the greatest fucking fast food burger of all time, dude.
It really is. It's number one of all time. But I never had, like, if it says ghost pepper, it always tastes like shit. I mean, for some reason, because I know you had to cook it down because it's got to be palpable to normal citizens.
Yeah.
It just tastes like shit. I don't know. But I mean, hopefully it's good.
Matt Fashanda says, I'm confused why they took Lindsay to the hospital. Felt like there was a scene missing after her encounter with I've heard a lot of people talk about this, how when she's laying down and then the next scene you see her and she's all disheveled and wet and shit like that. It seems like there was maybe an extra scene between her and Michael. But when Michael Myers, as powerful as he is, grabs you by the fucking throat and throws
Yeah.
you up against the fucking truck. She's
Yeah.
probably got some fucking shit popped in her
Bruising.
goddamn throat.
Yeah. I feel like it was
And-
unneeded. I
and
just
as
feel like
far
they
as-
didn't need to do it.
Well, as far as why she's wet and dirty,
She's
I mean, she
rolling in
was
the
hiding
fucking
in a
dirt.
fucking creek. Yeah, so it
Yeah,
makes
there's
sense.
water around.
But then
But
again,
yeah,
there may have been a deleted scene. I don't know.
Well, yeah, but even if there were a deleted scene, you get like a 30-second, a paramedic running to be like, "Oh my god, you got to go to the hospital."
Oh, I think of Michael fucking her up a little bit more is what I mean.
Well, I don't
Like,
think
maybe
Michael
another
ever
fight
did
scene.
fuck her up. I mean, I think that she moved around like secret
gotcha,
spy.
Dirk was
Oh,
saying
Dirk.
the same thing. Yeah.
Oh,
He was saying the
okay.
same exact thing. So yeah.
There's Jonathan, Felicia or Felicia. I can't say your last name.
Felicita.
I don't know. Which was your guy's favorite kill in the movie? Mine was that fluorescent bulb to the neck. Brutal. That was a great one, man. That's a really good one. I would say I mean right away, like the one kill that I think of, the one with Cameron was fucking brutal. I mean, it was really up there. I would say you know what? I'm gonna go with Cameron. I'm gonna go with that kill only because he makes this motherfucker do advanced yoga before he walks down the steps. Okay, this guy broke his back in 17 different ways. This guy is paralyzed forever, like ever. And then he takes an extra step, walks down the steps, and then twists his head all the way around for him to kiss his own asshole.
It was pretty great.
That was fucking terrifying to me because the fact that Cameron was still alive and he knows in the back of his mind that Big Mike is walking down the steps and will look at him and he's gonna do that.
Pretty
it's
great.
fucking terrifying.
Hard to top. I'm gonna say I reserve my right to change this later on. But for me, it's between the firefighter fucking saw to the face because the blood spurts when he does it. That was so badass. And the knife to the nurse doctor scene when he puts it in. The guy's choking him with a stethoscope, and Michael's like, "Bitch, what you trying?" And then Michael sticks the knife in his eye, and then he's like. Like
yeah, that was a good one. I remember that one. Yeah,
and then he just lives back. That was pretty badass too. Like I like that one a lot. But
there's a lot of great.
Whole ranking.
I almost picked the Little John one with the eyeball squeeze because that was fucking
good.
I
too,
can't
man.
because they even show the fingers going through the eyeballs and going, and just
Dude.
like look, Michael like touched his brain in a way that hasn't been touched since 5th grade.
This movie is a
Like
fucking Christopher Nelson goddamn Sports Center highlight reel. Skylar Cunningham says, "I just wish the original cast had more of a storyline. Love like a love interest between Lindsay and Tommy. Also, if the movie is boring, I would give you. It's hard to do in that short of time though. But I get what you're saying. I do get what you're saying.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, it would have been interesting. I mean, they could have explored. They could have explored a connection between Lindsay and Tommy. And it would have been interesting arc. I mean, for sure. I mean, and like I even thought for a minute that they actually were together when they were in the bar and they were kind of doing their thing. Or at least that they had dated. But the thing about it is, and I think the reason why they didn't do that is because I feel like they had already established the relationship kind of thing with Andy Matichuk or Allison.
Mutichek.
I'm just gonna say Allison and Lori and all those characters. I think they had done a good job establishing those characters, and those are the new characters that they're trying to go forward with. But it would be if they had started the movie, and that would be crazy if Lindsay and Tommy had been the main characters from the beginning, and they had developed that relationship through the 3 movies. That would be interesting. But if they had just given you kind of a regular, bullshit romance and then they're all devastated, I mean, you're not going to have the same investment that you would have had if you'd built up with these characters.
And I don't think it's sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, I mean, I'm just saying, like, I mean, it's easy to make them lovers, and I could see why they would be lovers because they survived a horrible night. But then also you got to think of it like this. They survived a horrible night together, and maybe they don't want to see each other because they get reminded.
Yeah.
They're dealing with their own demons, and maybe by seeing and hanging out with each other, even though they do it on a special night, by being in the same room, they have to be reminded of what happened that night. I don't know. I mean, you could go either way.
Yeah, and it's a good question, Scholar, too. I think a good question there is like maybe the entire bringing back everybody from the original movie would have been better served had they done it in TV series format, because then you could have introduced these characters, you could have fleshed them out really good, and then you have a lot of interesting subplots to go with. Whereas in a movie, you're trying to rush it, you got a lot to do with. I'm not saying I completely hated it or anything, but it is fair, I think, to say that had it been a TV series, that would have been the best way to really handle that.
I would have taken a TV series about Lindsay and Wallace, and Lindsay and Tommy, and how much they struggled.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take a CV series
and
about
more
that. I'll take
Robert Longstreet's character, and
I would have loved
character.
it. I would have loved it. I would love a little thing about Hawkins. I would love.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, we're huge mega fans of Halloween and Michael Myers, so anything extra they give us, I would take the Michael and or the Lindsay Wallace and the Tommy relationship explored in a TV show. You know, maybe when they high school or how they handled that. I
do it currently, but as long as Michael Myers was still the forefront, it would work as a Halloween series.
Well, I mean, you know, you could even put it in a Dr. Loomis archives or something. Like if you were doing a Dr. Loomis episodes on HBO Max.
Yeah,
it'd be cool. I mean, yeah, it definitely has a potential to be explored, but I think they did it because they didn't have time to really put a new whole relationship in. Joe Nubs, thank you so much, Joe Nubs. He says, with H ending or ends taking place 4 years after kills. Do you think we'll get a flashback scene of Michael in a Motel 8 chewing on some dogs? I hope so. I mean, every day of the week, I think to myself, you know what? It would be really great if they show a flashback scene of Michael taking a big old fucking foot-long dong from Dairy Queen, a big dog, and just scarfing it down with some mustard and ketchup and onions.
I did like that scene where he was like, hey, there's a dead dog in here. He was like, what? He's like, nothing.
But yeah, but you know what I think that they don't do that for is because first off, PETA, and then second off, it's also because it's kind of gross. And I don't know. I think that they probably don't want to show Michael literally eating in the rib cage of a dog. So the fact that you can even
take
imagine, you can imagine that he's doing that. Like that's fucking gross.
Fucking Zombie did that, right? Zombie tried to do that a little bit. Like I don't want to see it. Like it's a weird thing he did, and it adds to his mystique. But I don't want to go any fucking deeper than the fact that some dogs end up dead around Michael, and maybe he eats them. I don't know. Like I don't want to go any deeper.
I'm in that camp where like I can watch a toddler screaming and crying and in dire danger, and I'm like, well, I hope that baby gets out. I really do. I hope that nothing bad happens. But if I see a dog that's put in danger, I'll be like, you better fucking not touch that goddamn dog. If you do it, I'll burn a fur rug.
System Monitor says, can we just appreciate how they established the mental patient, the doctor nurse couple, and the Shamrock Skull kid in 2018? So clever. Yeah, the callbacks were great. I wish that they didn't do the mental patient. I thought it was the derivative of the main plot, but what cracks me up too is that some people be like, you guys didn't even mention the skull in the Season of the Witch thing. I'm like, they did that 17 years ago. Like it was in the first trailer for the fucking last movie, but you gotta love that they cared.
Did they say that as people yelled about it? Like
it's just one or two people had been like, not really, not in an angry way.
I owe them money. I think that's why they did that for.
Yeah, maybe.
Taco Splash again. Wow, Mike's right. Your name is so good, man. I love it. John Carpenter's best movie was The Thing, not H1. That's controversial, man. And you know what? I gotta go out with here. I'm not gonna say it's not.
It's not a bad.
It's not for me. It's not for me.
It's wrong.
But The Thing is fucking amazing, dude. What a great movie. The Thing is one of the best movies that not just John Carpenter, but any filmmaker put out. What a great fucking movie. But yeah, man. I mean, I'll give it to you for that.
It's not. It's not an opinion that you would hate someone for sure. Joker's Doll says, you guys see the Chucky and Michael commercial? I did. It was pretty funny. Did you see that? No, it's just a real quick. I'll let you watch. It's just a real quick thing where Chucky's talking about a thing and then Michael comes out and stuff. It's pretty neat to have them on the screen together, but it's just neat.
What they weren't like advertising anything.
They were. It was an advertisement for both Chucky and for Halloween.
For them, they came together. I thought they were coming out to like talk about a Duracell battery.
No,
like Chucky's fucking battery ran out.
I already.
Skylar Cunningham.
We already read
Thank
that.
you so
one.
much. I just wish the original cast had.
Yeah, we already read that one. Why don't you listen to me when I talk?
Oh, you just clicked it again.
Yeah, I just fucked up and clicked it again. Punk Kid has one though.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Punk Kid. He says, what did you guys think of Oscar's mom seeing his body and seeing her reaction? That was kind of fucked up. And you know what? That was a throwaway scene. But I feel like that was actually pretty impactful because it was like, you imagine like this mob is attacking the hospital and you really don't know where your son is. And I don't like that guy.
And you see that gaping hole in his fucking chin.
Yeah, and then you're just like, you stumble upon the morgue, which, by the way, why didn't you shut the fucking shades?
That's what Katie said.
Yeah.
Dude. She was like, "What hospital just leaves
Well,
dead
no,
naked
April said the same
bodies
thing.
laying there?"
As guys, we didn't probably think about it.
No.
Like, no, that's how they do things.
Like, let the boy watch.
That's how they do things. And then they were like, yeah, both of our girls were like, yeah, why didn't they shut the shades? It's so disrespectful.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know. But yeah, she sees her fucking son like on the goddamn gurney, white and cold. And no one has told her that her son's dead. She's just there to confirm if her son's hurt. That's you know what? That was not a throwaway scene, and I don't mean it. I don't mean it in that way, but I feel like it was a disturbing scene. I feel like that was more of a disturbing scene because everything is going on and they don't care, and the fact that she is going to suffer this trauma and no one's going to be there to help her.
Plus, maybe the actor got another little paycheck out of it, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Have to come back
you probably get something like maybe $2.
Good for him. Yeah, no, that was disturbing and fucked up. I did like that scene because it added to like the realism of the whole thing. DJ Graham. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate that. He says, love the movie, but I wish we got a little more context of the relationship between Lori and Tommy. Have they not seen each other since the tragedy in 78? Do they hang out all the time? We never really got a clear answer. The way I took that, man, was that the way that Tommy runs in there, I think he's kept his distance from Lori. I think they've kept their distance from each other because the way he runs in there, and like he's like, "Hey, Lori," and he kind of spills that dialogue out real quick, like someone who's been holding it. He's like, "If I ever see her again, I'll tell her this." He was like, "Hey, Lori, listen, you saved me once, and I promise I'm going to protect you now." It seemed to me like that was the first time that he's spoken to her really as an adult since everything happened.
I feel like it's the opposite. I feel like Lori has like distanced herself from Lindsay and Tommy. I feel like, and the way I read it was that Tommy and maybe even Lindsay wanted a relationship with her, but she was busy like trying to move on from that tragic event.
Well, I'm not saying that they chose that. I'm just saying that they have been distant.
Well, I'm just saying, but I feel like she chose not to associate with something that was traumatic in her life and decided to have a family. And decided to raise her family and not really, we've all had asshole friends in high school and shit like that you don't really want to associate because they remind you of bad times. Maybe that's what she was doing. And the fact, I don't think, 100% Tommy had not seen Lori up to that point. He probably read about her. Yeah. He probably knew about the situation that she was in, but as far as like actually hanging out, fuck no. And I think Lori was the one that said, I don't want to hang out with you. Like, I was like, sorry, you might be a good kid. And I know that you kept you're cool when those kids, broke your pumpkin, but I just don't because you remind me of that night.
That's an interesting thought.
Tyler Rumfeld, thank you so much. He says, Jay, you need to do the Loomis impersonation when he yells at Michael in the woods in H5. He says, I forgot. Michael, go home. Go home. With all the cat. With all the cat. I forgot about that line, dude. Holy shit. And you know what? I'll be honest, that was a really terrible line because it was like, where all the God, Michael? Just go home. Get your home. And I got your it was pretty.
Just go home, Paul. That's your home.
It was not so good, but yeah.
Skylar Cunningham says, so did y'all hate Lori was in the bed the whole time? I really believe the alternate ending will be her or the phone and her walking with the knife. Well, we talked about that. That is the alternate ending. That's pretty for sure because that's what was shown in test screening. Exactly what you're saying with the phone and the knife thing. I did not hate at all that Lori was in the bed the entire time because I thought it gave Michael and his essence room to breathe. I think it was time to show a different side of Michael. And again, that was the best part about this movie, right? Was fucking Michael. So I think that was the right decision.
I love fucking Michael.
Oh yeah,
it was so good. It was so good.
So many people.
It was. I think it was like straight up, but I mean, I think it was. I don't know. Her being in bed. I mean, I get what you're saying because maybe people did want her to be more of the Action Jackson situation, but like again, 2018 was her movie. Like that was what she was that's what she was doing the entire time. They have to move on at some point.
And maybe
if she's in a rascal wheelchair, they can get feisty. Don't you worry about it. System Monitor, thank you so much. He says Halloween returns. Watch your script video recently. Were you reminded of that awesome intro with the Kills flashback opening?
I forget, to be honest with you.
I don't know which one you're talking about because we did a lot of script reviews. So
I remember Halloween Returns, but I don't remember the opening specifically.
Halloween Returns. Maybe I don't know.
It's one of the best scripts we've ever read, though.
It was really good. I mean, it's possible. I don't want to be like disrespect, but we done a lot of script reviews.
Yeah, I'll go back.
It's hard to really narrow it down.
But I do remember loving it when we read it. So maybe that was kind of tied into that as well. Gavin the Nerd says, love y'all's fucking faces like H5 loves
Cookie Woman. What's a goddamn name, Jamie? Is it Cookie Woman? I know it's Cookie Woman. You keep on hiding this from me.
Cookie Woman.
You know what? Loomis was not unjustified for getting pissed.
No. Say it!
Because that
Say it! Say it or I'll break it off.
Shoot it. Chuck and Renee, what awesome people. Thank you guys so much. It says, can't wait to meet you guys at Scarefest. Can I get a shout out from Loomis for Renee? Thank you, Renee, for your money. We like it. And you know why? Because Sis Grove is broke. As you've seen, I've had to resort to do that paper company bullshit. So any kind of donation is appreciated, and I like it a lot. I can't wait to kind of meet you at Scarefest, because when you come, I will run to the bathroom and act like I have diarrhea because I don't want interaction. But thank you, Chuck and Renee. I hope you have a wonderful evening. And by the way, Chuck, get a better job. That's what I'm going to tell you. Better job. Shut up.
And that concludes our broadcast fucking day, man. I feel like we covered so much. And whatever we did not cover, tomorrow night we're getting together and we're going to be doing fucking tons of Halloween videos, man. We're really excited about it. Guys, I think we broke records tonight.
Yeah, dude, it was really fun, and I loved talking to you guys, and you guys were so awesome and supportive, and you guys turned out in droves. It was amazing. And yeah, man, Halloween Kills, the party is going to continue till the end of October for sure. And Christopher Nelson stopped by, which was awesome. I think he kind of maybe wanted to come on the show. I don't know. He said okay, but I don't know if it was okay.
Okay, like okay.
No, I was thinking about it. Maybe he said okay when you said come on the show, and he was like okay.
Why do you tell me, Jay?
Well, I don't know, because I don't know. I didn't want to like speak for him, because he did that the last time that we said, hey, you were like, hey, just come on the show, you asshole, and he was like,
I didn't know that.
Okay, well, I don't know.
It's okay.
He's probably busy. He's probably got things going on.
We have cool plans for Christopher, and they don't just involve
Mike White. Like, don't do it like that.
Sexual favors.
He was like, see you Friday. Don't you do it like that, Mike White. He's like, see you Friday.
Josh said, gotta get views because you ain't too proud to beg. I don't know what that means, yo, but I like it. No, seriously. People showed up big tonight. That was fucking crazy, man. I cannot believe we got over 1,000. That's fucking amazing. Really cool. Gary Catlow says, last stream you mentioned people sensing things. When I was a kid, I sensed something was wrong with my mom on the other side of town. And when we checked, she had been taking pills and it was a weird feeling. And that's, I think you're kind of referencing Lori feeling like something was going on with Karen. That's absolutely true, dude. I think people, sometimes you get a sixth sense about something bad that's happening. Yeah. No doubt about it in the world. That people have that for sure. But, and then let me see here. Make sure Joe Nubb says, I thought the caretaker and husband kill scene was over the top. He should have just lurked in and grabbed a knife and moved on. Nod to the 81 Elrod scene. Agree, I disagree there, Joe. I see what you're saying, but I love the whole I love that fucking shit. But
he looked like the leader of like he looked like the guy in Dodgeball, the snake. What's his name? Ben Stiller. He looked like Ben Stiller. It's like the snake.
And my fitness conciliere, Michelle.
Yeah, man, you guys were great. And by the way, I know, we were, I don't know, like the last thing that you just read, we were begging. I don't know. I don't think we were begging.
No, Tyler, that's not what he was saying. It sounded like that the way I read it.
Oh, okay. Because the way I was like, I ain't begged for nothing yet. I even said, like, I'll give you a hand job first.
We can spell our own.
Hey man, we really we gotta get going though. We gotta go.
Yeah. And go Grand Guru says she's coming from my comment. It was regarding Cult. It's gone from the top of there, man. Just if we missed anyone's super chat tonight, please email me. We watched the movie 2 at gmail.com, and we will get to it at the start of the next screen. Promise you that, because we do want to get to you guys. And apologize for that, man. It wasn't on purpose. These things, they go past us, and then when they're gone, they're gone. Mark Perez says we need Leatherface chili. I'm hungry myself. I'm going to go eat something. Maybe not off the fucking floor, but what are you going to do? Guys, we will see some of you Friday at Scarefest. We will see all of you tomorrow with a brand new fucking video, and we're so thankful for you guys spending your fucking, what day is it, dude? Monday night with us. Thank you all.
I think it's it's Monday night.
We broke fucking records tonight. God damn it.
It's Monday night, man. Over 1,000 people showed up. Fuck
Success. It's because
Destination Destination Station. I'm only drunk for you, baby. I can't wait for you to come over later on.
And
I don't know what
Rampage says, "Get some hot butt nugs."
Well, I don't know what that means, but I'll definitely find out on Reddit.
Dirkall says, "Leatherface chili fries tonight." You're goddamn right. Hey, we love you
Did you
guys.
see the chili? Why would you eat that shit?
It was fucking gross, by the way.
It was
That's
fucking
the whole story.
nasty. I know.
We'll tell that.
Was that in the video where I ate it? Because I ate some of it too.
Yeah,
it was the nasty.
Well, no, you ate the fucking cauliflower SpaghettiOs. It's a whole story.
That dude, goddamn, was
story
gross.
for another night. We love you guys, fucking faces. Thanks for making tonight awesome, man. This is great.
See
Bye, guys. Fucking
Get it up, baby.
Get it up.